your host,
South Coast Kane.
All right. All right. How's everybody doing? Get these comments up here. All right. I know I'm early. I know I told y'all I'd be like 5-10 minutes after the game, but I put the time in for 2:30 and it hit. So I'm gonna ride that bad boy. Oh, so while everybody's shuffling in, if anybody shuffles in, um, this is South Coast Kane, and this is the South Coast Kane Show, Pittsburgh post-game show. So your number 12 Miami Hurricanes, who apparently can play in the cold weather, defeated Pittsburgh 38-7. I kind of like the little touchdown at the end. That was pretty nice. But it was Miami played a really good game. Of course, not perfect, but nothing really is. But I had a doubt earlier this morning, but defense came out, did well. I really thought Pitt was going to be a little more competitive. I really did, based on what we've seen from that team. But I mean, Miami went out there and looked like the team that we had seen before. Beck ended up with about 267 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 interception. And Malachi, I think Malachi should be our quarterback next year, honestly. Malachi was 1 of 2. He did have that touchdown, and he had 9 yards passing. And as far as rushing goes, with the exception of Beck and his sacks, they ended up with 140 yards rushing altogether. Pringle led everybody. What's up, dude? It was good to see Pringle with the 82 yards. Fletcher had 30. Tony had 30. As far as receiving goes, Malachi led everybody with 13 receptions, 126 yards, and a touchdown. Even Baldwin got 58 yards on 3 catches. Yes, it has been a while. It has been a while, dude. Pittsburgh ended up with 229 yards passing. 199 yards passing, 30 yards rushing, which gives them the 229. That's what I was looking at. I mean, Miami shut their running game down. The quarterback really didn't. He had that 1 touchdown pass for their only score. And but yeah, I don't know what to say other than maybe I had a touch of gas this morning. I don't know. It just seemed like the table was set, and based on past experiences, these are the games that Miami would normally lose, but they didn't. They came out and they won. I'm very, very happy that they won. I was not wanting them to lose, contrary to public opinion. But yeah, it is what it is. So yeah, there's the links in the description or in the chat, excuse me. So right now, if I did my numbers correctly, we have Virginia and SMU at top of the conference at 6-1 each. Miami, I would presume, with Miami being 6-2, they'll be ahead of Georgia Tech, just primarily based on overall record. So as of right now, depending on what happens between Virginia and Virginia Tech and SMU and Cal, Miami is sitting at 3rd. And it looks like if Virginia loses, Miami's in. So with that being said, let me swap over to here. I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna add Mr. Alpaca. Who called it? Alpaca called it.
Hey,
As of now, Alpaca was right, and also,
we're not going to the playoffs. We are also not winning the national championship, and we're not winning any playoff games. See what I'm doing? I'm doing the right thing, dog.
okay, all right, and then also apparently we have a new person on the panel here. Alpaca said we're in, so apparently they have listened to the show before.
I just want to make sure you say my name correctly. Alpaca said we're in.
He did say it. He said it.
He
What's
said it in
up?
a different language, but it is what it is. He said it.
What's going on, guys? What's going on, guys?
Oh no, good.
Oh,
I'm good, man. I was watching something earlier on, and there is a pony that didn't make top three.
oh
So
God. Oh, dude,
everything
look,
is good over here.
look.
How are you doing there, Mister Pony Guy? You want to talk about that, or is it too sensitive? It's too early.
Well, I have cried all my tears out. I'm about to dehydrate. But yeah, yeah, Leclerc is going to be number 10 and Sir Lewis will be 18 in the race tomorrow. I don't know what's going on. It's like they're driving bricks out there. I mean, geez, Louise. Oh, but I don't know. I don't
But
know.
but back to the
Yes.
point.
Yes.
Tony should be All American. Should
Yes.
be first team ACC. Should be ACC Player of the Year and ACC Rookie of the Year. If he doesn't get that, I don't know. I don't know who's. I just don't get it. Right. Two. I'm always tough on Mario. Congratulations, Mario. You did a good job.
Yep.
Bigger picture, looking outside, you got us attended 2 years in a row. Whether it be we're close or whatever, you did a damn job. And you look. This is the first complete game I've seen from a Mario's team.
Yes.
I wish we would have scored on the last drive after that pick. I would have respected him more. I would have been a Mario fanboy if he would have gone for a touchdown instead of taking a knee. But I guess I'm asking for too much, right? But no, I mean, I hope we make the ACC because I want to see more games. I hope we make the
Yeah.
ACC championship game. I hope we get into the playoffs. But congratulations, Mario. You went 10-2, right? Doesn't matter the schedule, the conference, whatever, but you did the damn thing. A little bit conservative sometimes. There's some people that need to get off this team because I think they're holding them back. Not going to say their names or their numbers, but the starting running back needs to go. The guy that everybody talked about, in the offseason needs to go. But outside of that, you see the difference when Miraball's not coaching, right?
Yes. Yes.
you
Yes.
know, uh,
Yes.
and everybody go, what happened to the offense when the fucking fan base called out Mirabal, hands in the damn cookie jar? You see his hands out of the cookie jar now. So I hope everybody notices the difference. And Dawson's not that bad. It's just Mirabal wants to get his 2 cents in. So, and I
Right.
see people say, oh, look at Dawson. No, no, no. You could see Mirabal affecting his game.
Yeah, and that was also something else I had a concern about. With this being such a big game, would the powers that be take control? And I'm glad they didn't.
Yeah, they got called out. They got called out,
Yeah,
and they, try to patch it up. Oh no, 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 no. We see
yeah,
what we're doing.
yeah.
But I'll let Mister Alpaca. What I'm calling him, Alpaca. The what? I'm gonna rename his name because he can see the future, right?
Alpacadamus.
Alpaca Damas.
There
Alpaca
we go.
Damas. That should be your new name. Alpaca Damas.
Listen, we are not winning no national championship. We as hell ain't winning no playoff games. But I
Well,
saw something horrible out there on that field today. In fact, they panned to it after a commercial break. I saw a Hurricane fan with an ibis tattoo that had no fucking pipe.
oh shit.
That's terrorism.
I
That
would agree.
that's wrong.
Why would
That's
you
wrong.
get ink on you,
Ah,
take the needle, and not get the pipe to
right,
go with the ibis?
right. What's up, QB? But talking about the playoffs. So it looks like Michigan is. I guess they lost. Where'd they go?
Oh, they got stomped.
Yeah, I've had the ESPN scores up, but apparently, yeah. So with Michigan losing and Texas beating A&M, at first when I saw that game, I'm like, oh crap, here we go. Texas is going to catapult. Uh, but I think with Michigan losing, Vandy still has to play Tennessee tonight, and then Utah only beating Kansas by 10. You know, I really wouldn't be surprised if Texas jumps ahead of us. I'm no
No,
expert.
no, don't
I'm
do
no
don't.
expert.
No,
I'm
no.
no expert. I understand Texas is a 3-loss team. Okay, I
They
understand that.
got blown out by Florida. I don't want to hear no
I,
Texas debate.
I'm not
They
debating.
barely beat Kentucky that Louisville blew out today. I'm not trying to hear any Texas
I'm
debate.
not.
I'm
I'm
going to ban you from
just.
your own damn channel. Where's the damn CEO at?
She's out shopping with friends. Oh, but no, I'm just saying. I mean, I I I hope not. I don't see how they could jump Texas over Miami, but who knows? Who knows? All I know is our best shot, Miami's best shot, is for something to happen between Virginia and Virginia Tech to where Miami can get into the championship game. And if that does happen, what's up, Kate and Baton Rouge? If Miami can get into the ACC championship game, I think they can take care of SMU. I'm just saying right now. If they continue to play like they have been here lately. But as far as the big playoff picture, we'll just have to wait and see. Have to wait and see. I think it just depends on the Virginia Tech game tonight. Because SMU, they still have the tiebreaker over us. So
That they're saying something on TV like if SMU or Virginia lose, and it's like, don't you know the tiebreakers? Like SMU won
right,
over us. That's the
right,
that's the ultimate tiebreaker.
right. Now, again, I was watching the ESPN app for the game, and after about 5-10 minutes, I got tired of hearing about all the playoff, and I just went back to the Skycam thing. So, um, after a while, it just gets annoying, honestly. And for me personally, these last 2 weeks, listening to all this commentary on things, personally, I'm kind of sick and damn tired of hearing about, well, Miami beat Notre Dame head to head. Okay, great, but I'm just tired of hearing it. You know what I mean? It's like every day, every minute of the day, that's all you friggin' hear. And I just personally, I don't care. Let's take care of business on the field. And Miami's not out of it, you know. But it'd have been a lot better if they'd have took care of business against Louisville and SMU. But I digress.
That's always the thing, man. That's the only thing.
It
That's always the thing
is
with Miami. Like, are you gonna do it or not? And they don't.
exactly. Oh, and that's what's so odd about this game against Pittsburgh because, like I said, these were the games Miami folded in. You know, um, but I mean the defense come out and played really well. Offense had a couple of stutters, but they still, they cranked it up in the second quarter. And if this team continues to play like they have been the last few weeks, and the weapons are used, shouldn't be that big a deal. But can they get to the ACC championship game? Who knows? Oh, And that I mean, y'all, what do y'all think? What's y'all's thoughts on all that?
We're betting on Virginia Tech against Virginia. I don't have high hopes.
Try to stay positive, sir. Try to stay positive. I mean, I feel like we've been so. I don't want to say we've been negative, but we just been ourselves. And there is a glimmer of hope. There is that small, minute chance, but you know,
Well,
it's
it's I'm kind of like in a I don't know place because like I do want to make the playoffs and I don't want to make the playoffs because I want Mario to learn a lesson. Like stop being conservative, right? Like
Yeah.
and it's like unfortunately it's like a lesson needs to be learned here from the fan base to the administration to the football program. It's like enough of this conservative stuff, enough of this favoritism stuff. Like to be honest, we should have won this game probably 50-7, but we
right.
wanted to play, number four. Number four has no business playing for this program anymore. Pringle should be the starting running back. He had one negative play the whole year. That guy is a beast, right? He could potentially get 1,000 yards, right? But this favoritism has to stop with this program. Um, but I want to make it because I want to keep having conversations and talks, so on and so forth. But at the same time, it's like this is what you get for being conservative, right? And it's like you can't be both. A lesson we got to teach some lessons somewhere.
Yeah,
Our
yeah,
best players are true freshmen.
yes.
Bryce Fitzgerald, 4
And
interceptions this year.
have y'all noticed? And I think I've noticed this, but there's been a complete turnaround in the run game since they've been going outside with the runs.
No, there's been a turn on the run game when people said, "Hey, Mirrorball, get your fucking hands off the damn offense."
Well, that too, because I noticed there hasn't been as much up the middle runs as we've had before.
Because
But
Dawson doesn't run up the middle, only Mirabal does.
well, I just want to make sure I wasn't the only one seeing it. But I tell you what, I really think they should give Malachi a shot at quarterback next year. What y'all think about that?
Stop smoking, stop folks.
He's been looking he's been looking better than Beck out there, but
No, you can have one or two plays a game, but no, all the time.
and honestly though, if and hopefully Malachi does stick around because nobody knows. Oh, he could be a big help next year because I presume Emery's going to be the starting quarterback next year. I don't know.
No,
That's a whole different conversation for a whole
No
different
way.
time.
We got to go get a portal person or Darion Coleman can play as a true freshman, but I don't want Emery touching this damn offense.
you can't have a freshman. You gotta let Coleman sit a year and learn the system and learn the program. But no, you gotta go get a portal quarterback. I don't know who the portal quarterback's going to be because they're saying the NC State guy might go to LSU if Lane goes there, right? They're saying, oh, we could get the Arizona State guy, but yeah, there's a lot of SEC money out there, so we'll see. I don't know. This is the problem. What happens if you don't? You're going to year five. You haven't developed a quarterback, but it's not time to be positive. It's time to be negative. It's time to be positive. And Mario has two. You can't knock him. He's won. He's gone 2 years winning 10 games. Right now, let's do it. Next year we got to win 11.
Yeah,
We got to go 11-1. We cannot, as you learned this year, we're not allowed to lose a game. More than one game anymore.
yeah.
Now look who showed up. He was gone all fucking year. It's amazing. He showed up now.
Yeah, because I just want to close
Hey,
out the season with you guys. I ain't want to, you know what I'm saying?
hey, Rue, how you been, man? You feeling a little better this week, man?
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty cool.
Good. I'm glad you're here, man. So what's going on? How you feeling? What you think? Thoughts, theories?
I came here specifically to ask you,
Okay.
Coach Kane, do you honestly now still believe Notre Dame deserves this spot more than your Miami Hurricanes?
Oh, that's a trick question. No, it's not. Oh, Well, I mean, again, I'm probably gonna have to say yeah, based on the fact that they lost to Miami, they lost their games early. Okay, now and Miami lost theirs late. Now Notre Dame had time to recoup, and plus with the fact that you know between the end of August and now teams have lost and things have moved up and down and so forth. But I really think that the reason why Notre Dame is where they are is just because of how they've moved up in the rankings based on other teams' losses. Oh, and my thing is if Miami, so if you'll talk about the head to head, okay, then like I said this morning, why is Georgia ranked ahead of Alabama? Why is Alabama ranked over Oklahoma? And you can even go even further and say why is Texas Tech ranked over Arizona State and Alabama ranked over FSU? So I mean, it becomes a total. I guess it's just an opinion thing. Oh, honestly, it is what it is because Miami had their chance and they didn't do it. Oh, I think if Miami and Notre Dame played right now, I really think Miami would take care of business again. So take that for what it's worth. I don't know if I answered your question, but I
Yeah,
think
that last part answered it. Because I was
what
gonna ask you who will win right now if we play lined up right now. I think we will
I,
mop them.
you
This is
know,
my opinion. I don't think Alabama should be in it.
I think that yep. I think if you're gonna have Notre Dame ahead of us, we should be right in front of Alabama, or we should be
Yep.
in the front, then Notre Dame, then Alabama. On this
and
fact,
I would agree with that. I mean,
I'm gonna use
but
a data point, not just I say. Say we got a log jam of two lost teams.
right.
I already know Virginia, SMU,
Stop.
Georgia
I'm going
Tech.
to fight LSU. What the hell is he doing? The guy had a damn touchdown, and I hope you're not watching the game.
No,
I
I
see that.
got the scoreboard from ESPN up on my computer. So
Well, let me finish that. Alabama, they lost to FSU, right? Another first game that they're trying to
right,
forget, right?
right, right, right,
Well,
right,
you got two ACC teams that defeated FSU with two losses right now. One
right.
trying to get to the ACC championship. Both of them has a chance to get to the ACC championship. So Virginia and Miami theoretically should be higher than Alabama.
Well, and also, what's up, Phil? Also, I mean, again, I mean, when Miami played Florida State was ranked number 18 and 3-1. So at the time, we didn't know they were going to be. I mean, we all know that they're a pile of trash, but we didn't realize that they were going to be what they are today. So I mean, it's kind of I don't know. I think if I still think that this Miami team is more talented than anybody in the country. I stand by that. Unfortunately, these young men haven't been led in the right direction. But as far as talent, player for player, I think Miami can compete with anybody in the country and can take care of business. Because one reason why I say that is I was watching that Georgia Tech game yesterday afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, the Georgia defense, from what I saw, it's really not that good. I mean, it's good, but it's not number 4, number 5 good compared to say Miami.
I believe our
Oh,
offense is the most balanced in the league too,
yes,
and we got the
yes,
best defense.
yes,
I think
yes, yes. If Georgia Tech would have been a little better,
had a little passing game. They could
yeah,
do
something.
something.
I mean, but anyway, that's neither here nor there because at this time of year, once we get to near the end of November, it's all this conversation always comes up
Guess
ever
what?
since whenever.
Guess what? Low key victory helped us.
What's that?
That Louisville destroying of Kentucky. Because Vanderbilt been on our heels, and if they beat Tennessee, they want to kind of put them ahead of us. But look what this Louisville just did with that Kentucky game.
True.
Y'all want to give them
True.
credit? Oh, they did this to Kentucky. Okay, well look at our bottom, middle tier teams do. So that was a good victory for us.
Yeah, and it's so. What's so frustrating for me? What's so frustrating for me is the fact that Miami finds themselves in this situation once again, when all they had to do
Was
was
beat LSU.
take care of either Louisville and or SMU. That's all they had to do.
Yeah.
Because if they would have beaten either or, preferably both, but either or,
we wouldn't be crying.
I wouldn't say cry. I mean, you wouldn't.
We
Miami
crying.
would be available. They would only have, say, one loss.
No, we crying right now because they.
I ain't crying. Speak for yourself.
I am because they've been shitting us in the rankings ever since our first loss. How far they dropped us, and then we get a victory, they drop us again.
And how many times does that happen, Studio? When it comes to dropping, Miami drops like a rock off a bridge.
We would be dropping anywhere we took care of SMU and Louisville, though. That's our problem. Like, if we just take care of the stuff we got to take care of, we would be talking none of this. We would be.
I got you. Miami must go undefeated every year, but we can't consider ourselves national.
No, we could have lost to Notre Dame. We could have lost to Notre Dame in the beginning of the year. That would have been fine. But we can't lose in the middle of the year to teams like SMU and Louisville. It just can't happen. Like, that's exactly why we're here.
I know one thing. If we lost that Notre Dame game,
and to be honest, in the ACC,
we might have been too far in the polls to climb back up.
We should be going undefeated in the ACC.
All right, let me ask y'all this then. Based on what Studio just said, I want to call him Heru, but he's showing Studio, so I got to call him Studio.
You call him Studio.
So, let me ask this crazy ass question. And I think I know what the answer is, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Do you think it would have been better for Miami to lose to Notre Dame and beat Louisville and or SMU, or have things the way they are now? In other words, lose Notre Dame and then win either SMU.
The committee is obviously saying Alabama's loss doesn't matter to FSU, and our win over Notre Dame doesn't matter. And that's perfectly fine. So I have to go with what the committee sees because they're the ones who dictate whether we go in or not. So it's very easy. Lose early, win the rest of your games. That's the way.
I got you. But I don't know what psychologically would have did to us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that gave us some confidence early. Winning at her in the Florida because we had a nice little tough schedule at the beginning. You know what I'm saying? I just think those buys back to back got us out of the groove a little bit, and then so it is what it is. Everybody, it's hard to go undefeated.
It is.
Games.
We used to do it all the time, dog.
No, we didn't.
Back in the day, when we had the BCS, we used to do it all the time.
No, we didn't. Ask yourself how many times Miami went undefeated.
Okay, I can look this up.
I was about to.
We did it in 2001,
maybe
for sure. 2002, we did it in 2002.
We went in 01, 02. I want to say, what was it?
Our national championship years all been undefeated. You had to go. You had to go undefeated back in those days because you had the BCS.
Exactly.
But hey, what's so bad is, Miami finished 10-2 last year also. Not counting bowl game, but they finished 10-2 also with foolish losses against Georgia Tech and Syracuse. And then here we are again. Now, of course, we had no defense last year. And here we are again, another 10-2 season, which, hey, look, back-to-back 10-win seasons, that's crazy. That's the first time we've had that in a long time.
02, 03.
Yes, I mean that is pretty cool. I mean, I think sometimes we kind of get. I mean, I can only speak for myself, but sometimes you kind of get those blinders on, and you're thinking about, well, ACC this, but I mean, 10 wins is 10 wins. Doesn't excuse anything, but that is pretty. That is pretty good. Unfortunately, if Miami would lose more out of conference games or not lose at all, as opposed to conference games, that's what's so frustrating to me. Um, but it's just it's like, yeah, like I said, the 10-win games and all that stuff, but it's just so aggravating for Miami to keep stumbling against these ACC teams. That's what's so horrible, and I just hate leaving all this into the committee, the whoever's hands.
In the games we lose, they're to big blue chip games in the past. They're to the main people, Penn State, Notre Dame, stuff like that. We don't lose to SMU or Louisville. And to say we can't go undefeated in the ACC is bullshit. We used to do it all the time. Our conference schedule, we used to wipe the floor with them.
We never went.
That's when you're Doug Flutie and you're at BC. But whatever.
I don't think we ever went undefeated in the ACC.
Not in the
No,
ACC, Big
no,
East.
not in the ACC. Big East solid.
Yeah, the Big East, yeah, but not the ACC, unfortunately. Oh,
We haven't been really good in the ACC. We haven't been there yet. So
That's why I say we got to crawl before we ball. I get it. We want to go straight to the
no. We could have walked this year. There was no reason we should have lost to SMU and Louisville.
but that, and coupled with the fact that it's been 21 years being in the ACC and haven't even made it to the championship game but once. Technically, it should have been twice, but officially only once.
Mario's main problem is he never does the things he has to do to right the ship in times of trouble. We had a whole year watching Cam Ward light people up. Dude, get rid of our defensive coordinator. Anybody could have been better. Anybody making decisions for our defense last year could have been better. In times of trouble, Mario does not right the ship.
What do you mean? He did. He fired the coach, got one of the best defensive coordinators you can imagine. Now the difference is these two losses from last year. Last year they had a legitimate excuse, man. That defense trash. This year, man, it was Carson Beck 4-interception game. That was the
I know you can hear me. I said in the season last year, dog. I know you got ears, dog.
Okay, all right. Let's not raise the blood pressure too high.
I'm fine, dog.
Let's keep it down a little bit.
I
But yeah, I mean, yeah, and that you bring up a good point though, Alpaca. Very enthusiastically, but you bring it up. Yeah, I mean, when Mario talked about, he knew the defense was an issue and he didn't do anything about it, that really kind of got under my skin also.
No, I don't think he knew it I know that defense is trash. I ain't gonna do nothing about it. He knew it as the season progressed. Like, oh shoot.
No. What's that one dude? The coach guy, the black dude. He's coach. He has a show because he does a show all the time. Oh man, no, I can see Coach Hayes. That's it. I watched Coach Hayes all last year, and Coach Hayes, they knew we had a horrible defense, and they was urging to change something. So I don't know how Mario didn't know.
What you mean change in the middle of the year when you don't got no DB?
Get rid of him. Get rid of that coach. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. In the middle of the year. Yeah.
Well, they did just give Gidry an extension previous to last year.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Well, that was the wrong move.
And let's be honest.
Mario said it after the season. Mario said it after the season. He knew the defense sucked, and he didn't do anything about it. And I had a major problem with that. It's like
season though, he said it.
Yeah, but you knew that during the season, and he should have corrected it. You could have won a national championship last year, but you just set your ass on the side and said nothing.
What could he have done in the middle of the season that would have fixed that defense?
Hey man, fix this shit. I don't know. Do something. Pinch a bitch. Say something.
Somebody who can create a scheme around the bum players we do have.
Well, I mean, I would hope. I mean, because none of us were invited behind closed doors, but I would have hoped that at some time last year that there was some type of coaches meeting, some type of Mario saying, "Hey, Guidry, what's going on? Tighten up. Your defense is killing us." I don't know. I don't
I
know.
mean, through the example this year, when the fan base called out, "Hey, why you keep running the ball down the middle?" Guess what happened the game after that? We started running the ball outside. We started getting everybody else included, right? Everybody saw the issues with the offense this year. It's like it's predictive, so on and so forth. And Mario fixed it after I forgot what game it was, right? 3 games after the SMU game,
In the
right?
middle of the
But
SMU
see,
game,
but see, the
he
problem,
kept
the
throwing the
problem with our
ball
offense this
back,
year.
and Beck kept throwing interceptions.
Hold on,
Like, get back from throwing interceptions. Like,
he
his
only had
in
that
the in the
one.
moment thinking is horrible.
He only had that one game where he just underthrew a bunch of balls. It's not like he was just throwing picks with bad reads. And then fixing the defense, bro. Uh, I don't see what he could have done in the middle of the year last year. You know what I'm saying? Because, for example, the offense, it wasn't a player personnel issue this year. It was just a play calling.
Yeah.
Last year was a defensive backfield issue. I mean, y'all see who we had out there at corner.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but my point is we had Cam Ward lighting people up. You could have played some prevent stuff to at least get a stop or two when you needed to. You,
Prevent
you
the
could have.
stop.
You could have.
No, I just think they should have ran the ball more like we do now, or we run the time down, we wait the clock. I think we should have controlled the clock more. But Cam Ward going down the field so fast, our defense was put in bad positions, bro.
Oh,
Well,
I'm sorry. Cam Ward scored too many points. My bad.
You know what I'm saying? They were going fast. The offense was like fast.
yeah, yeah, and also to that point, like a couple of seasons before, they would. I know Lashley would like to run that hurry up, and unfortunately, the offense would, spend 10 seconds and go three and out. But regardless, that's last year was last year and everything. But as far as this year, like I said, this is probably one of the most all around talented teams that Miami has had. I mean, it's not perfect, but there's some really good talent out there. And if the weapons are used properly, you
They,
know,
they can't stop us.
exactly. It's exactly what we were saying earlier in the year. You know, we were giving this team and this coaching staff props. Hey, you're looking good. And then all of a sudden, Louisville comes to town and Louisville come out with a game plan and no adjustments were made. Nothing. At least that's what I thought. I may be wrong, and I usually am. And then SMU, it just seemed like it's almost like the team was just there.
They didn't want to win.
They were there. I don't know how else to say it. I'm not saying they were, maybe they were a little bit lethargic. Maybe they were overconfident. I don't know, but they just didn't seem as fired up. Like what we saw today at Pittsburgh. There was a lot of excitement on the sideline. Got a little chirpy on the field. Oh, now I'm not. I was ridiculing folks about all this referee crime.
Yeah.
Okay. And yes, the ACC officiating, if you've been following it, it ain't worth a damn. It never has been, probably never will be. But how far does the Miami offensive player got to get out of bounds before they throw a flag for late hit?
Oh yeah, they missed that one.
I mean,
Hey, but South Cole, I ain't gonna lie, bro. Our whining feels like it helped. Cause I did that article. We just been crying about these penalties, and I was almost feeling bad. I was like, boy, we getting these calls. I said, this is what it feels like to get the call. And then they showed their penalties, pitch penalties. I said, see, it's on average. This is about how many penalties they get called every other game. So when they call it right, nigga, that's what you see.
right.
It don't feel right. It don't feel right.
It felt bad. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I felt dirty.
But I'm gonna be honest. It's been criminal this year. It's been horrible this year. But ACC be fucking everybody. Like they
Yes.
get FSU sometimes.
Yeah.
They mess up together for everybody,
I ain't
for
gonna
They
let
they
hold
Clemson
on,
and
hold on,
everyone.
hold on. I ain't gonna let you let ACC off the hook when it pertains to
I'm
Miami.
not letting them off the
Well,
hook.
I know
Shit.
I'm just messing with you. But I did an article and I did a chart in my article and I point out every single team we played their best disciplinary football against us. And then you go back and look at all the other games, they're getting twice as many penalties, twice as many yards. I said, wait a minute, I thought Stanford was just a smart team. 2 penalties. No, they average 10, 11 penalties every game. How did they get two
right.
against us? Same thing with
Right.
Florida. You know, it's just, no,
Well, that Hayru, and plus if you've noticed since this probably the second half of this season, the false starts, the illegal snaps, uh the stuff that Miami can control, for some reason has gotten a little better. We had two false starts today.
I didn't even see them. Did you really see that? I was like, where they moved at?
I don't know. I didn't see it, but what I'm getting at, it was, the first part of the season we were getting all these penalties that we could have discipline would have controlled those penalties.
As well. We were getting
You
good
know,
spots and all.
yes, and but at least here in the last part of the season, they kind of cleaned all that up.
No, they didn't. This game.
Well, I mean, and what I'm talking about, like your false start on offensive line.
Okay.
I still don't understand how the guy playing nose guard on defense can jump the snap. You know what I mean? You're over the ball. But I mean, those type of penalties. Now, some of these pass interferences, stuff like that. Sometimes they let them play handsy, and then sometimes they don't.
I don't have
But
a problem with the pass interference they called today. The only one they missed to me is that late hit. Cause everything else to me just went perfectly on our side. I was shocked. I was amazed.
yeah,
Let me ask y'all a quick.
Baton Rouge brought up a point though. He said ACC is the only conference with transparency. Sometimes.
But
sometimes.
hold on. The transparency, I see them watch them still make the wrong call.
I know. I'm with you on that one. I'm with you on that one. They still make the wrong call, but like they have transparency sometimes. I never saw it
more than
all the
others.
time.
More than others.
Quick question, y'all. Okay, this is a narrative. Notre Dame's playing so much better now. I'm glad Riddick spoke up. He spoke up a little bit. We usually don't get this. He's like, man, I don't know. Miami look like they playing that much better too, which I agree. But I also agree that our coaching has been a lot better the last 4 games. We already see it with the offense, the play calling, and then I'm watching these timeouts. We got to run the score up. These last 2 games, Mario been a little bit on
I think the voices got shut up that were in the room that needed to be shut up.
I mean, in all fairness, since A&M, Notre Dame really hasn't played anybody other than a USC and this Pitt team. I mean, honestly, they had, after A&M, they had Purdue, Arkansas, Boise State, NC State, Southern Cal, then Boston College, Navy, Pitt, Syracuse, and they got Stanford tonight. So, I mean, it's kind of comparable to Miami's schedule in a way. Okay. I think, y'all please correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm going off of memory and it's a bitch getting old, but I believe this game, Miami's game against Pitt, that was Miami's first ranked opponent since
Louisville, I think, or SMU, whichever one that was.
No, they weren't ranked. Was it Florida State? We played Florida State after South Florida, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, because those two, Florida State and South Florida, were both 18 when we played them.
Yeah.
So,
you're right. You're right. But this is the problem I had with the ranking. So when Louisville wasn't ranked, and it was like, oh, that was a bad loss. but they only had one loss, and they immediately ranked them number 19
Right.
after they beat them.
Right. And see, and talking about the rankings, that's why I wish they would either, if you're going to use the AP rankings, wait till October, or wait, just don't even use them. You see what I'm getting at? Because, if you think about the first month, first 5 weeks of the season, primarily you're playing out of conference, very few conference games, not too many Miami Notre Dame games going on. You know what I'm getting at?
Mhm.
Oh, but I mean, I've always thought that the rankings, the AP, whoever, shouldn't come out until like October. You know, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah. I seen some contradicted. So Oregon, okay, they beat the little Penn State game, and during the little conversation about the ranking, they were like, "Well, Penn
Hold
State."
on, now, hold on. I'm gonna let this guy stop talking for a second. And I meant to interrupt. Where were you the whole damn season, sir? Why are you showing up now? Huh? Why are you showing your grill and face up now, sir?
Oh, I had to
What
close
what's the excuses you got? Because you were a little bit quiet after those two
the
losses.
last game, man. I wanted to be here with y'all. They gonna shit us, y'all. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. But I just had to close out the season with you guys. Make sure y'all heads was up. Glad we
You miss Alpaca saying in Spanish, we're making the motherfucking playoffs.
He did say that. He did. History is being recorded, and it was recorded.
Hey, well,
But
Y'all ready for the postseason?
I hope so.
He ain't making it.
I hope so. I hope so.
I do honestly. I mean, I hope so, and I really hope that this coaching staff utilizes what we got on this team.
It,
That's
it,
all
al-
I'm saying.
it almost looked like they aligned it with, all right, let's let Miami in, because I even seen where the Pitt coaches weren't as much fighting back. They almost like conceded the victory a little sooner than because there was a couple times they were supposed to go for it and they didn't. They punted. And I was like, this is interesting. And all the call went our way. I'm like, this is very interesting. We'll
They
see.
got demoralized in that game. That's why they stopped.
Yeah, either that or the ACC is trying to give us a chance. I don't know.
We got
Well,
Jimmy
I,
Lake.
I got, I got a harder, tougher question for everybody, and I know that the answer is no, right? But let's say
No.
LSU misses out on Lane Kiffin. Do they go
Mm.
after Mario?
I hope so. Look,
Oh, please, please, please.
y'all. Okay, I'm gonna start this carousel. You know, last week the wife went to the LSU Western Kentucky game, the CEO, and I told her she needed to make a shirt. Mario for hire with an added bonus of Dawson and Maribel. She didn't want to do it, so I did my part. I've been doing my part, but
Well, no, I'm not. I'm not trolling because he. To be honest, Mario does deserve it. It's going to sound bad. You guys are going to beat me up. He deserves an extension, right, with Miami, or there be. I think he needs a money extension, not a year's extension, right? But at the same time, it's like, do other programs really come after him? Like a Penn State, would Penn State come after him? Would LSU come after him? I don't know. Would Florida come after Mario? I
But
don't
he's
know.
already getting
If we lose
paid.
Mario, we have to go after either a Lane Kiffin or a goalish type. We need to
Mario
offer him
already
as much
paid.
money as they want.
He's not going to that cold environment and leaving Miami. He's not.
Although I think Lane Kiffin is more prone to Miami because he likes it here than he would be at LSU.
Lane Kiffin better stay at Ole Miss. If he
I,
lower.
I still think Lane Kiffin's a flight risk.
Me too.
I mean, he's got it made at Ole Miss. He's got it made.
If
You
They
he
know,
actually have a
keeps
decent
job, he's
NIL
gonna be
package
fired
too.
in 3 years.
you know. Oh, but as far as Mario leaving Miami, I mean, anything's possible because money talks. I mean, let's be honest. Money talks louder than loyalty. Okay. And if, let's say hypothetically Kiffin decides, nah, I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going to LSU. If LSU offered Mario 10, 12 mil a year, Mario will be on the first plane to Baton Rouge quicker than you could say lickety split.
How much Mario getting paid now? 7,
8.
8.
8.
Hey,
So you think 10 will
you
be a
gotta give him to at least 10.
At
12?
least.
10, I don't think that's moving.
You have
I
to.
mean,
I will give him a money extension. I will not give him a year's extension.
Oh, please, no more years.
I honestly, my
And
opinion,
this is coming from Cuban. If I'm saying that, that's saying something.
that's what's blowing my mind right now. I'm
I
trying
wouldn't
to
even give him an extension.
I I'm trying to figure out, okay, who is this Alpaca said we're in, dude? Because he sounds like Cuban, but the
Well, no, because
voice,
I'm not like studio. I'm not like
oh
studio and these other people. I
man,
give people respect where respect is due,
oh,
and Mario does. He got him 10 and 2.
I think I
I call
think
it the way it is.
I want to see, of course, what happens if there's any, let's see what this postseason looks like. Okay, I think next year, you know, I
Next year's
think
gonna be interesting.
To me,
it's
that's his money year. You got to
that,
show
yeah,
me what you do after this back to back. If you
yes,
really
yes.
sustaining this shit, if you sustain it third year, you brought me in.
And
If you got to get a new quarterback, you got to get new quarterbacks. You got to get new defensive ends. I mean, we got Lightfoot in them, but we got Hayden
wait,
Lowe.
wait a minute.
But you're losing a whole lot of people.
I was told we had depth.
Yeah, we do. I ain't worried about
We
that.
we,
I
we
ain't worried
have depth, but you're losing Bane. You're
about
losing
Lowe.
Mesidor. You're losing some big guys.
I ain't even worried about
Game changing players.
secondary
And,
coming
and we're
Jacoby Thomas.
yeah, and we're really gonna find out next year what
Man, we got
we got.
Rapport as a Fitzgerald at safety. Cool.
You know,
Better read. Luke is coming. Man, that secondary good. Linebackers okay. Maybe
No, linebackers are bad.
Linebackers are horrible. We do got that dude who is coming in,
we
Campbell,
got
next year. He might be good right off the bat.
Yeah.
Campbell looks like a strong dude.
We averaging 14 points. Do y'all see our run defense?
yes.
It's top tier. You don't do that without good linebackers, bro. And I don't see no busting up the middles and all that. They ain't gashing us. They'll get a big run, one a game, maybe 2 a game. That's elite, bro.
Yeah, but I don't see Heatherman staying either. I think Heatherman's going to get a North Texas job or something like that.
He got to get one more year.
I think
Nah, he's going to get a North Texas Tulane type of job. You'll see.
I don't know. I think
I'll extend him. I'll give him more money right now. I'll lock him up. Now, that's what
but hold on, hey Rue, or excuse me, studio. Let's not fall into that trap like we did with Gidry. We were saying the same thing about Gidry.
I wasn't saying that. Would you say that you want? Be honest.
I don't even remember. Like I said, I couldn't tell you what happened 5 minutes ago. But the talk of the town was
him. Hold on.
I would rather see. I think Heatherman's going to stick around next year, and I think next year we'll see what kind of defensive coordinator he is. Now, with the assistants he has under him, it probably helps out.
Hold on.
But you have to give credit where credit's due. The defense has been playing very, very good this year.
Gidry first year with North Carolina, he acted like he didn't even know how to stop or hurry up.
Yeah, but
confused. It looked like he was a beginning coach, and we've extended that.
Right,
man, get out of here, bro.
But I mean, just looking at this year, and I know there was a lot of NIL guys. I understand that.
That's even
but
parts everywhere made it mesh.
We'll see next
year.
To
say, hey man, these boys are starters. These boys playing elite. We're gonna put him. So we were like, all right, the Kobe time and count this guy, and they did not.
If you don't think people in the nation are gonna come after Gidry, mistaken. Like Guidry's
No,
gonna get
You mean
poached by number one NFL, number two a small college program wanting a head coach.
yep. Like QB said, it was TVD's fault, not Gidry against North Carolina. But and
no?
again, now
I'm
look,
talking about the
just
defensive scheme he was running, and he couldn't stop or hurry up off his. He acted like he was confused.
now, just like I said with Mario, I'll say the same thing with Heatherman. That money talks louder than loyalty. Okay, and I don't know what Heatherman's plan is, but I don't know what he's making this season with Miami as defensive coordinator. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if somebody like a North Texas or somebody tries to offer him money. But honestly, as of right now,
He'll be an idiot to go to North Texas.
as
Only
of
another year,
Why
right
is that?
now,
he gets a top job. Another year like this at Miami. Let's say he stay next year and we win the Natty. We get over that hump. He got a
We win
top
in the Natty
job.
next year.
He got a top.
Gidry took that risk and look how it looked like.
I wouldn't dare go to North Texas if I was him.
look,
No, he's not finna go from Minnesota to Miami.
Ezekiel Brown, call in Ezekiel Brown.
He's not finna do that.
Brown. But again, I mean, we don't know. Again, we're just speculating. I mean,
I,
because we don't know what Heatherman's plan is in life. We don't. I mean, if okay, let's stay with the
no
North
speculation
Texas.
on these coaches now.
Let's go with North Texas. You know, offer him a head coach, and let's say Heatherman wants to go the head coach. I don't know. Maybe he will. We could probably say the same thing about Dawson.
Man, living in
You
Miami,
know,
Nobody wants Boston.
I'll be
Texas.
all right. Let me ask y'all a question. Who would y'all rather replace? Dawson, if you had to replace one. Dawson or Heatherman? Who you keeping?
I get
Well,
there.
I
Dawson's staying here. He can't go anywhere.
I'm
I
just saying. Let's
I
say
got I got to go with
one don't get
defense.
off the job.
I
Who you rather go?
I got to keep Heather. I got to keep the defense
All
functioning.
right. I
Got
got
to,
question mark by Shannon.
because remember, just to kind of relive last year, I was saying defense helps you win championships. I know you got to score points, but you got to have the defense, man.
Hell
You
yeah.
got to, and it's just so refreshing to see the defense play like they have been. It hasn't been perfect, but I mean, Miami hasn't been. What's the highest point total scored on this defense? 20. I'd have to double check here
I'll look it
right
up
quick.
real quick. I got the page up right now.
24 against Notre Dame, 3 against Bethune, 12 against South Florida, 7 against Florida, 22 against Florida State, which that wasn't on the defense in my opinion.
Yeah.
Louisville 21, Stanford 7, SMU 20, 26, excuse me, which I don't think that was their fault. 10 against Syracuse, 7 NC State, 17 Virginia Tech, and 7 here against Pitt. So the most points they gave up was the Notre Dame game. Am I seeing that right? Yeah, the 24.
First game of the year
Which
though, with a brand new defensive coordinator.
exactly. First game of the season, and I really think Mario took his foot off the throttle and tried to cruise into it, but I ain't gonna get into that right now. So yeah, I mean, when's the last time we've had a defense that's averaged, less than or given up less than 20 points, 21 points a game? At the most, that's the most they gave up. We didn't have one of those 500-yard UNC games, 600-yard North Carolina games. Now, again, we didn't play the likes of a Georgia Tech or North Carolina, but, the defense was rather consistent. They may have given up a big play every so often, but overall, the defense was on time this year. Oh, yeah, the 26th SMU, but overall, it wasn't like last year where we were in like Arena Football League shootouts.
Yeah. We're number 7 in run defense, 92
Right.
yards a game.
Mm-hmm.
Vanderbilt just took the lead over Tennessee.
And Yeah,
But
I
if you say
see
that
that.
nobody's coming after Gidry, you're crazy.
Oh, I think they will. I'm not
Why you
saying they
keep
won't.
saying Gentry? You mean Heatherman?
No, yeah, Heatherman, yeah, yeah. If you don't think anybody's coming after Heatherman and the his age is not taking calls, you're crazy.
Hmm.
Yeah, no, I
Okay.
ain't saying that. But if I was him, I'd hold out and wait until because he'll get a better job.
I would not. You see what happened to Gidry, bro. You went from being one of the best quote unquote defensive coordinator one year, then the next year getting fired. You gotta strike while the iron's hot. It's a head coaching job. If there's
No,
a head coaching job on the plate, you take that shit.
well, that's if Heatherman views his skill as even as Gidry. See, Heatherman might be like, man, I'm a top dog. I see what my defense is. You know what I'm saying? Number 8 in scoring, number 7 in rush defense. I mean, we top 10 in every category, in every single category. We were number 70 last year.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
I,
He hold
I,
out, win the championship. He can get
I,
that Florida job. He can get that LSU job.
I understand, but it's like,
I
yeah,
go Texas. I wouldn't take it.
hey, North Texas, hey, that guy got a promotion to Oklahoma State, and the guy from Tulane got is going to get the Florida job. So
Yeah,
you
but he
know,
can go to North Texas and it don't turn out good.
All
That
right.
rookie season
Okay.
is bad. He can still ride.
but you could
Okay.
always take a defensive coordinator
Let me
job. You
ask
can't
you a
always
question.
take a
Ask
you
you a
can't
question.
take you can't always take a head coaching job.
Let me ask you a
All
question
right.
about
Go
this. If
ahead.
you was in Heatherman's I'm sorry, Sarko. Let me
No,
ask
no,
you.
no, no, no. Please go ahead.
If
Go
you
ahead.
was in the position of Heatherman right now, do you feel like it's a better opportunity to advance your career by taking one of these mid-level jobs or riding the curtails of the talent in Miami and having that top defense where you can actually win a natty, way better chance of winning a natty, and then which option you think could advance your career the best?
My thing, I'm looking at what happened before what happens to defensive coordinator before me. He had a good year, then the next year they fired his motherfucking ass.
I got
That's what I'm using. You know what I'm saying?
you. I got
Because we could have won the last championship last year, right? But he had one bad season and got fired,
what if
right? And it's
Heatherman
like
feels
now
like,
and
well,
now
if I were here,
it's
we would
so
have
so
won
Frida, this is my thing. You got to be a risk taker. You have an opportunity of getting fired and potentially never being a defensive coordinator ever again,
That's
or
the risk.
taking a head coaching job,
That's the risk.
right?
You
But
said it. Risk
Uh,
taker.
I,
That's the risk.
I would rather take a head coaching job, safe money than no money.
Said take the risk. So why are you taking the safe bet now?
but
Man, go ahead, Socko.
I'm betting on myself.
No,
I
you're not.
love that
Because
Florida will take the
Benjamin
Tulane
knows
coach.
Gidry was trash. He was like, man, we'd have won the natty if I was here last year, man. Let me show you how to win a natty. Then I'll move on.
but I mean, also Heatherman. I mean, again, I don't. We don't know what Heatherman's end game is. Hopefully, it is to keep progressing up. Now, you know, if if Heatherman is approached by Team X, Y, or Z, do you think Miami would increase any pay to try to keep him, or and then furthermore, since we're going down this hypothetical road, let's keep on cruising. Let's say, let's say, okay, QB, let's say Heatherman goes, let's say he goes to Tulane, head coach. Who do you think Miami should replace Heatherman with?
Before you get there, this is my thing with Heatherman. Heatherman came to Miami with none of his people.
Right.
Not a DB coach, not a linebackers coach, not a. There's nobody that he brought into this operation. So my thing to Marvin, like, hey, I need at least a linebackers coach, a cornerback, whatever type of coach he wants. I don't know, but at the same time, is Marvin going to allow him to do that? Because it's like the staff is doing pretty good right now, right? So now you're in a troubling situation. This is why I know people not want to have this conversation, but it needs to be had because there's going to be a problem here. People are going to come after the DC, right? And it's Heatherman. So it's like, what are you going to do? You can't offer him money because you don't have, I want to bring Studio as my linebackers coach, but you're like, nah, we already got a linebackers coach, right? So I'm like, all right, fuck you. I'm going to somewhere else where I can bring my linebackers coach. I'm trying to get my friend, just like you got your friend as an offensive line coach. I want my friend as a linebackers coach.
Jason
So
Taylor's the only untouchable to me. Jason Taylor is the only
Jason
untouchable.
Taylor's going to be the next Dolphins general manager. Just
Yeah,
telling you right.
probably.
But
You
I'm
know
telling.
what? I'm glad
But
that you name my choice. If he leaves, man, I'll say Jason Taylor take the spot.
I
but
don't know about that.
Yeah, you're right
looks like
about that. I don't know.
Tennessee
And he
just
really
scored
called that
again.
shit like Heatherman. You see Heatherman on the
But
sideline.
I
He
mean, I
like,
don't know. I mean, the possibility exists. We may be jumping the gun, but the possibility does exist. I mean, because stranger things have happened. You know.
look at the
Uh,
engagement on the sideline with Gidry versus Heatherman.
right.
It's night and day.
And again, it's. I mean, I'm not trying to take anything away from anybody, but the first year is great. The honeymoon is excellent. You see where I'm getting at? Okay. I would just I would like to see him have another year at Miami just to see. You see what I'm getting at?
Hell yeah.
Because the secondary, and I know it was full of NIL cats, but the secondary to me looked a heck of a lot better than it has been. Again, I know it's NIL guys, but you didn't see as much confusion. Pass coverage was a little better, a little handsy at times, but as far as defensive line and the linebacker play, considering the linebackers we had, no disrespect to Basaint or anything, I would like to see Miami get back to getting some linebackers like we used to have. Hey, Norman, what's up, dude? Oh,
Jordan Campbell, I think, is our next good linebacker.
I'm just waiting for the second coming of the Bermuda Triangle. That's what I want to see. Oh, and no disrespect to the young men that's been on the teams in the past, but linebackers have been they haven't been what they used to be. That's just my opinion. Oh, if we can get us some real good linebackers to complement that defensive line, oh my gosh, because I really think I know some of the backups haven't had much playing time, but I think the defensive line will be okay. I know it's not a bane, okay, but you know, I think it'll be all right. But anyway, that's beside the point. We're probably getting way
well,
ahead of ourselves.
no, not really, because there's a couple things that are going to be coming up that is pretty soon. It's the portal is
Yep,
one. It's one
yep,
portal
yep,
window,
yep.
and head coach and coaching. So those are the
Mindset. Y'all
two
hear me?
biggest things. Yeah, okay. Those are the two biggest things that we have to worry about. Is like what players we're going to keep, what coaches we're going to keep, what coaches are going to leave, what coaches are going to stay. So all that. This one, hopefully you make the ACC championship game. And this is a stupid ass conversation that happened, but you know,
Yeah,
this needs to be
yeah,
had.
it is. And I mean, and we'll see. And these are good topics to talk about. You know what I mean? As opposed to the topics that we've been having to talk about.
Well, like Ferrari being sorry at
Oh,
F1.
geez, come on, Brad. Look, I've already told you. Look, you made. I'm sorry, you made studio leave. Nah, hey, look, I know that. I think Mario's got a side gig working for Ferrari, but that's beside the point. But yeah, it would be nice if Miami could make it to the ACC championship game, because I don't know. Here's what I'm afraid of. I don't know if Miami's going to have this balanced of, oh, E Brown, well, come on in and change it for us. I don't know because we haven't seen this balanced of a team talent wise for Miami in a while.
Well,
Oh,
Ezekiel Brown, this is the conversation that's going to happen pretty soon. You're either going to face it or not.
Right.
And if you really think that, Heatherman, if you don't do something, if you think they're really going to keep him, you got problems. Like this is not the college football where you grew up on, where there had, people had no face masks and shit, and people were loyal. There is no loyalty in this game. There's only one loyal coach on this staff, and that's Mirabal. Everybody
Mirabal,
else is an open free agent.
yeah, Mirabal follows Mario.
Yeah,
Heatherman's aside,
I
he
mean,
is.
if you think about it, our DB coach was getting pursued by the NFL. So it's like, I'm telling you right now, we're losing that our DB coach. We're going to lose our DB coach to the NFL. And if you don't think so, just watch.
You know, try it again, E. Brown. I don't know why. I mean, maybe
Ebron, he's trying to send you like a something in the mail.
I don't know.
He's trying to send a link to the mail. He's like, oh, I got this link. I'm sending him a mail, a postcard.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, I mean, I just really hate to see this talented of a Miami team who honestly, if they're fired on all 8 cylinders, have a very legitimate chance to do very well in the postseason. But oh, Heyru's back. Oh, now we have Heyru. Now it's about to get serious.
Yeah, my computer had froze on me.
It's
I got
quite all right.
notice
It's quite all right.
that.
But so I guess if let's go ahead and have this we done talked about coaches and this and that. E. Brown thinks we keeping him like Mickey Andrews. Oh my gosh. So
Yeah,
if,
this is not no Mickey Andrews type of
yeah.
thing. Yeah.
So if Miami does not make it to the ACC championship game, and if Miami does not make it to the playoffs, okay, these are ifs. We've talked on one side. Let's talk on the other side. Will Miami be successful in the bowl game? Or do people jump ship, not play, transfer out?
If we do not go to a playoff game, you will have a lot of starters not playing in that bowl game because they're going to the NFL.
Hey, but guess what? I want us to win because that's going to be whether I determine this be a successful season or not.
Right. But see,
We
here's the
lose is
No,
not
you got to stop it. Dude,
It's the point.
this is a successful season. You got to
No,
give Tennessee. You got to
I'm
give
sorry.
Tennessee.
No, y'all calling me a Mario fanboy. No, I'm not accepting it. And Mario must
You Mario fanboys
win
are not.
this
You Mario
bowl
fanboys are not
game.
objective. You
Okay.
guys are not objective. It's like
Here-
you got to be
okay.
real here, man.
Here's the thing. There are no more games right now that Miami knows of. Okay, nothing. Everything's hanging in the balance right now.
No, we
as
do know.
far
Our
as-
pocket said we're making the playoffs, so we do know what games are coming up.
It will
Well,
always be Middle Tennessee Mario for me.
Middle
Like
Tennessee. But what I'm saying is, as of right now, there is no definite. Yes, there is we don't know. Okay, so like I said, we talked about if for some reason Miami, can be fortunate enough to go to the ACC championship game, or somehow Miami gets an at-large bid. Big ifs, okay? But what if Virginia and SMU play in the ACC championship and Miami is not ranked high enough to make it to the playoff, and Miami ends up playing, in the Duke Mayo,
please win the Duke Mayo Bowl,
pinstripe, whatever. I mean, I think Miami be high enough to probably play the little thing higher than the Mayo Bowl. But what I'm getting at is, If that was to happen, and a lot of these starters opt out, okay. Do you think that the backups will give a better showing than what we saw, like say last year at the Pinstripe or year before, or not the Pinstripe, but
Pop
So
Tarts.
the Pop Tarts. Yeah, it's been so many things, from what we saw at the Pop Tart Bowl, and then the
Well, you have the
Pinstripe
same
before
backup,
that.
Emery. You'd have the same backup. Emery would
You
be
know,
your quarterback.
yeah, we're gonna play
or
a half, so ooh, that's gonna be scary to see
but
two
I guess
games.
to refine the question, would Miami, if they did not go to the playoff or championship game, could they get that 11th win in a bowl game?
I believe so. I believe so. But it will be scary to see Emery come out there. Will Beck play? That's be interesting. I
Nope.
think he might play just because he got a good offensive line. He ain't really got no risk of getting hurt. He might want to put up some stats.
No,
Patty stats.
you can't say that because he got hurt last year in the playoff game, right? So, and it kind of messed up his first, second round projection, right? So you got to be careful with that.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. But to me, Mario, I would like to get a New Year's Bowl against another team that thought they should have been in the playoffs. Or, that they were trying to consider above us, whoever it is. And I would love to see us, our backups, go in there and smack them. That'll give me a success feeling for the season. I think the season is a success regardless, but I'll be satisfied, me personally, if that happens. If it doesn't happen, we lose. I'm unsatisfied. Even with the so-called back-to-back 10 wins, 6 yeah, yeah, yeah. It's not satisfying to me, Mario. You know what I'm saying? So,
So to me, it's championship or bust most years. If we lose a
Yeah.
meaningless bowl game, that doesn't matter. Like that's just
And to me, it's not. I guess I don't want to sound like Cuban asking questions who don't ask questions, just gives you whatever. Uh
Ferrari.
it's not so much if the backups in a bowl game. Of course, this is all hypothetical, big ifs, whatever. But do you think that the backups this year would have a better showing than backups that we have seen in previous bowl games?
Bryce Fitzgerald's a stud. Marquise Lightfoot, I guess, would be out there. You'd have Justin Scott. You would have Malachi Tony, I guess. You would have Joseph Moore. You would have Upshaw. You would have Pringle. You'd have a lot of the starters, or it's stuff people that are just starter calibers
Yeah, and
players
I
out
get
there.
and
Well,
also I guess
I'm sorry, Sako. This would
no
be
go ahead.
my issue. If the backups do come in, let's say Beck does not play, because Beck does, like I told you, Beck and Cam, they don't have any loyalty to this program, right?
Right, right,
yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
but if Emery Williams gets in the game and we're doing nothing but screen passes,
Oh God.
I and he looks like shit,
Oh
I am
God.
firing Dalton on the spot. I'm like, what have you been doing with these damn quarterbacks? Why you haven't been
Right,
developing these guys?
right.
So that's
But
my fear. It's like I don't know if they want to show like, hey, my guys have not been developed yet, so that is going to be an issue.
and I know in this day and age, bowl games don't hold near the weight that they used to because of playoffs. I understand that, but it would be nice if Miami was to go to a New Year's Day bowl, something other than the New Orleans Bowl on December 15th. Oh, if they would go to a bowl game and be successful and win the damn thing, you know. But again, I know we're all talking ifs right now because, like I said, Miami finishes the season 10-2, another 10-win season. Unfortunately, they dropped the ball against Louisville and SMU, just like they did against Georgia Tech and Syracuse last year. But you know, it's
Hey, to me,
it'd be nice. It would be nice if having these 10-win seasons would put us into a championship game. You know what I mean? That's what's so frustrating.
I got to put Cuban with your point with the Emery and the screen thing, right? To me, I would question the coaching again. This will piss me off with Mario and Shannon because I'll be like, well, this could be your future. Why wouldn't you open it up, see what he could do, see if he makes the mistakes that y'all trying to save him from making? If y'all keep try to play safe with him, I'm gonna question that coaching wise, just period, bro.
I
I
think there
Yeah,
want to
needs to be
see
less
Emery
out of
throw it
conference
around
games.
the field and be like, "Oh shoot, we can go with Emery next year."
We are not going Emery next
but
year.
we
Um,
go ahead, go ahead, my bad.
I think there needs to be less out of conference games. I think we should play in our conference more. This whole half the conference not playing the other half of the conference is absolute bullshit. Especially because we're not the ACC anymore. We got Cal and Stanford.
Thank you.
So
Thank you.
like it's ridiculous.
Well, with that, Alpaca, I'll do what Indiana's doing now, right? Indiana says we're no longer going to play any more big games because it doesn't matter, right? I would take Notre Dame off the schedule. If I'm the ACC, I'm like, hey, all you guys take Notre Dame off the schedule,
No. The
right?
ACC needs to nut up and say Notre Dame join the conference or get the hell out. They need
Yeah,
to
yeah,
nut up.
True.
yeah.
True.
That's what they need to do, and it's like enough of giving this Notre Dame so much love and stuff. Like F Notre
Right.
Dame, like
Right.
No, the
even
ACC doing
And
dumb shit, man. Like last year, they scheduled a non-conference game in the conference, so the NC
Oh,
State
they did. They
Virginia
did. Yeah,
lost.
yep,
this
at
year,
loss.
That's
Bullshit.
dumb. It's like how they get the they playing 8 conference game and one of them ain't gonna count, and it's the one that's screwing us right now.
yep, you're right, Norman. We were talking about I was talking about that earlier about uh the cold weather wind and all that stuff. But yeah, it was a good thing. But yeah, to your point, I mean it's no secret. Notre Dame needs to either shit or get off the pot. They don't deserve any more favoritism. I don't care. I don't care how much money they got. I don't care what type of they it's just not fair to everybody else. And to your point, Heru, about the games, yeah, you know, I would, since most conferences, SEC, ACC, Big 12, Big 10, whoever, I believe everybody has about what 16 teams in it, give or take.
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah,
you
we
know,
got 17.
yeah. Why not? Why not have, say, within the ACC, have 4 divisions of 4 teams? Okay, to where you play everybody. You want to play it out of conference, play it out of conference. Don't really care. You play everybody, and everybody should play everybody in the conference, and then you do like the NFL, and you have the 4 division winners. They play each other for like a semifinal, and then you have the championship, and that can go towards the playoff. And you can do the same thing with the Southeastern Conference, Big 12, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
It's to the point. I think Coach Hayes said it, but I've felt this way for a while. In that, if you're going to have a college playoff, all right, if you want to have a successful one, you need to get rid of the rankings, which gives the writers less power. You have more emphasis on conference, kind of like the NFL. But instead of taking the top 2, divide your conference into so many divisions, 3, 4, whatever. If you want to have a true champion, or, and I may be getting a little wacky here, we're in the land of ifs and hypotheticals. Why not divide the country into 4 sections or 2? And then within that, have geographical divisions within a conference. And what I mean is, I've had this conversation with some guys at work, and say, like, you could have a you can have a Southeast or whatever, but within the Southeast Conference, you'll have like a division with like a Florida, maybe kind of like the old regional baseball tournament, the old regionals back before they went to super regional, to where you could have like 4 or 6 teams within that division, to where you have one, maybe 2 really good teams and about 2 or 3 kind of middle of the road. You see what I'm getting at? Kind of like a Miami, FIU, Central Florida, South Florida, maybe a Florida State, something like that. And then if you, like I said, if you really want to have a true playoff and you really want to be deserving instead of all this crap, I know QB. It's all about the money. But if things get settled on the field, I think personally it'd be better for the sport. I've always said that, college football. But unfortunately, money rules, the media rules. There's a lot of money floating around. And that's where they thrive, especially the ESPN, ABC, Disney, or whatever, because they start all this controversy about all you've heard about is Miami, Notre Dame, Miami, Notre Dame, Miami, Notre Dame. What happens? Everybody gets flustered, and everybody tunes in each week to see who's ranked, and then you get all this enthusiasm. But if it was, like I said, if it was a true playoff, without any rankings or whoever, but yeah, to circle back after all that soliloquy and pontificating, Notre Dame needs to be put into a conference, whether it's Big 12, SEC, ACC. They need to be put somewhere instead of just floating around. That's just my opinion, and it sucks.
I think at least the rankings should be taken out of it, out of human error. Bring back the BCS. 12 teams, BCS decides it, at-large bids, and let the computers decide. Because the BCS wasn't terrible. It just only had 2 people.
I think you have to have, in my opinion, everything needs to be settled on the field. It doesn't need to be settled by a group of people, especially college football with the amount of money that's floating around.
Well, I mean, if it was settled on the field, we'd be ahead of Notre Dame.
No, but okay, so going back to what Steeder said, okay, you're part of this committee. Are you honestly going to put Miami over Notre Dame? Just honestly.
Too much pressure, too many lobbyists.
Hey, you know what I can't understand though? If like Virginia SMU, right? If one of them lose, both of them lose is great. But if Virginia lose and Duke winning right now, so we can't cancel that. It'll be a 3 or 4 2-loss scenario, and I can't understand how they're saying Duke will win the tiebreaker over us over a 2-loss.
No. So I'm glad you brought that up, Hayru. I'm glad you brought that up, because right now, if I saw the standings correctly, I'm gonna double check myself just to make sure I wasn't smoking.
We're 3rd in the standings right now.
Yeah, we are 3rd. As far as the ACC goes right now, you got Miami at 6-2, Pittsburgh at 6-2, Georgia Tech at 6-2, and then Duke is at 5-2. So if Duke wins, that means, according to ESPN, that's who my source is. We done pissed them off. If Duke wins, they're 6-2, but they're the 4th out of 4 2-loss teams. See what I'm getting at?
Yeah, okay.
So right now, Miami is in the driver's seat they're 3rd in the conference, 1st out of the 6-2 teams. So my question is, maybe he's already here. If Virginia loses, we're still in the land of hypotheticals. If Virginia loses, that makes them 9-3 and 6-2 in the conference. Does Miami jump ahead of them.
That's
Okay,
why I don't understand.
you
They
see, that's what I'm
claiming.
saying. If so, I mean, or is if Virginia loses, I may be just being, I don't know. But if
Let me see
Virginia
if
loses,
Virginia
does
beat
Miami
SMU.
does it go into the championship game based on record, higher ranked? Because then you would have 5 teams with 2 losses if Duke wins. Right now you got 3. And then what happens? Okay, and I know there's tiebreakers, but if Virginia and SMU lose, that means you got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6.
That's when we'll definitely go.
5 or 6 two
That
loss longer.
that's when we'll definitely go. If Virginia and SMU
You know,
both lose, we'll definitely go.
and
But
again,
I still don't understand. I know Virginia needs to lose SMU. Oh, I don't understand why we would like Virginia. If they let's say Virginia win, SMU loses, right?
mhm,
Would SMU still only have 2 losses? Or they'll have 3? How many
they'd
losses
have
does SMU got?
Virginia and SMU right now before their games tonight have 1 loss in the
Oh,
conference,
that's why. That's why. Because
and then
SMU got a
plus,
tiebreaker against us if it's two
yes,
losses. So
yes,
we need SMU to
and,
lose most. But I don't know why Virginia has a tiebreaker over us.
I mean, I don't see if Virginia loses. I don't know what the ACC is going to use in order to figure out the team to play SMU. Is it going to
Yeah,
be
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
that's
Because I
crazy?
don't. They claim in Virginia we're not in that driver's seat in that predicament, and I don't know
But
why.
but
Uh,
if Virginia loses, I'm getting to you, E Brown. Hang on, buddy. If Virginia loses, that makes them 9-3 overall. Okay.
no, because one of their losses don't count. Remember, so they
Yeah,
just have 2 losses.
The NC State game earlier this year was a non-conference conference
That's the
game,
game that's
meaning
fucking us
that it
right now.
didn't count either way, win or loss for the conference,
But
which is
right.
retarded.
But what I'm talking about is Virginia's overall
Yeah.
record, which usually if everybody is log jammed with the same conference record, after all tiebreakers are exhausted, they usually go with either highest ranked or better record.
Yeah, but that's the key. What you said, all tiebreakers exhausted. I think they got one where they take the opponent's common
You know,
opponent schedule in the
whatever,
ACC.
whatever. It is what it is. I mean, like I said, I hate being in this predicament because it should have been settled on the field. All right, E
Hold
Brown.
on a second. This AC conference is
Oh,
done just
he's
like
gone. He's gone.
Oh, he gone. Oh, all
He
right.
gone.
No, so it might be the internet.
Brown got
Sometimes
scared.
it'll be tricky.
That Cricket Wireless is a bitch. Go ahead, Alpaca. Ben.
No, E Brown got scared. I was attacking E Brown. I want
So,
E Brown.
you know, yeah, again, I'm no expert. I'm just looking at the standings. If, regardless of what SMU does tonight against Cal, they have the tiebreaker against Miami. Okay. Uh, if Virginia loses, I'm just assuming based on ranking and overall record that Miami would have the tiebreaker. But that's why I hate leaving the game in the refs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I hate leaving
But
everything.
this is just stupid, man. Just I mean, think about it. The NFL doesn't have any stupid rules or committees or it's like best record goes in. Right? If
That's
Miami's 11 10-2 and the next team is 10-2 and the 2 games they lost in conference, who gives a fuck?
right.
We're gonna put the best 2 teams in the championship game and that's it. Like it's
And I think I wish they'd have never left the divisions. All right, E Brown. Talk to us, E Brown. Unmute yourself, E Brown.
He's technically challenged.
Okay. Talk to us, E
E Brown,
Brown.
if you want, you can put it in pencil or ink and just send us whatever you need with the feather.
There he
Serious
is.
vision.
You're a funny man. You're a funny man tonight, Cuban.
E. Brown. Give us some soliloquying. You didn't
Well,
get
you know what, you guys, all of you guys carried on with your little soliloquy tonight.
yes.
But you know what? Cuban Kane has gone on with the most bloviating, pontificating, and vacillating conversation I've heard all night. Are you really serious that there's a college football team that's going to hire the defensive coordinator because this year with a loaded and talented football team, he was able to coach the football team successfully for defensive play. You think somebody's going to make him a head coach when he has no head coach experience?
That's
He
how
needs
head
to, he needs to do at least another
They
year
did
with
it
the
at
University
Oregon.
of Miami before that happens.
They did it
Okay?
at Oregon.
Yeah, they did.
they do that to coaches. They make them head coaches when they're successful other places.
They did it at Manny Diaz.
I was about to say they did with Manny Diaz.
What are you doing?
Well,
Mr. E. Brown,
no, no, no,
you
no.
came in here with all
Manny
that
Diaz.
energy, and you got debunked in 2 seconds, Mr. E. Brown. Do better. This is not the
No, no,
1950s
no,
anymore,
Manny.
man.
No, no, no. I'm gonna debunk. I'm gonna counter. I'm gonna do a counter offer. I'm gonna
Go
start a
ahead.
counter offer here with you.
Go ahead.
Manny Diaz was a defensive coordinator for at least 3 years before he got an opportunity to coach a football, become a head football coach. Correct?
Right.
Am I wrong or right or wrong about that?
You're right.
Yeah.
He was with the University of Miami for 3 years, 2, 3 years before he became a head coach.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, all right. So the likelihood of someone taking over as a head coach simply because they had one good successful year as a defensive head coach is that's ludicrous. You're
Well,
talking
Okay.
about
no,
What
hell,
you're
about
hell.
talking about
Arizona
hiring
State? Hold on.
somebody.
One second. What about Arizona State head coach?
What about him? What did he
He
do?
was one. He was 1 year at Florida State, 1 year at Oregon, then head coach.
Okay, that's 2 years.
And
Yeah, this
also,
guy's
That's
been
two
defense
years.
coordinator. He was defense
but
coordinator at Minnesota and
Minnesota.
Miami.
Yeah,
and
But
Minnesota.
no. What I'm saying is that
You talking about,
if
but
you
no, but
hey
okay,
Rube,
you
hey
backing
Rube,
up.
hey Rube, hey Rube, hey Rube brought up a good point. Hey Rube brought up a good point. If you put that guy in as your head coach and he's not successful, he becomes a loser because you jumped the gun and hired him as your head coach based on one good year because he had one good year with a high-powered football team. You're just setting your team up for failure if you do that. You got to let the
North
guy
He
go
had
Texas
another
he
can't
year.
had 2 good
afford to
years.
buy out the contract like him. They're a way smaller school. That buyout will be ridiculous
He
for
run,
them.
and also you're not factoring in this guy came in with none of his guys. He doesn't have a defense, a DB's coach, a linebackers coach, or a D. So he doesn't have any coach on his team
now,
that's part of his program, right?
now,
And also you
now,
got
Well, you do know that he didn't want to bring anybody from Minnesota with him, correct?
how do you know this, Mr. Ebron? Are you his personal friend or you his grandfather? What are you, Mr. Ebron?
Hey,
now,
E
did
Brown, E
Go,
Brown, E Brown, E Brown.
go ahead,
He just
go ahead,
supported
hey Rube.
your argument because he came here with a top notch staff in place, a gold jacket D line coach. He
Oh,
got
you're a Colorado
Exactly,
fan
Damian Lewis.
now.
Hold on, he got Damian Lewis,
exactly.
another Hall of Fame defensive lineman. He ain't really had to do nothing. He had elite talent. I mean, all you had to
I
Ebron,
do
so
mean,
was
let me
you
get
ask
your
you.
you
Hold on,
communication
one second.
right.
Ebron, let me ask you a question. I'm your agent. I'm like Mr. Ernest Brown. I have this job offer here for North Dakota, not North Dakota, North Texas. Do you want to take this job, Mr. Ernest Brown? Yes or no,
my
Mr.
answer is going to
Brown?
be my answer is going to be H no.
H no.
H no. I
Okay.
do not want to coach North Texas State. No,
But
I do not.
back to your thing about these coaches, Mr. Brown. I'm not trying to pile on you. I'm just asking, and this is for everybody. But didn't Heatherman start at James Madison and then went to Minnesota and then came to Miami?
Yes, he's proven.
I
I think he
Ooh,
mean, I
started at
mean,
Rutgers.
Rutgers.
yeah,
Okay.
but that
But I mean, didn't he wasn't he a defensive coordinator at James Madison and then went to Minnesota and then came to Miami?
Something like
come on,
that, yeah.
listen. I could take Cuban Kane, Hayru, and who's the other person on it? Is the
Alpaca.
Alpaca? I can take all three. I can take all three of these guys and take them with me and go to James Madison, and then we could come up with a scheme on defense that will look phenomenal. Okay, we can do that. All
I
right.
ain't gonna.
I'll take those.
Wow.
I'll take these
You
three
can't say
guys because
that.
these three guys and myself and we can put South Coast as our head coach, and we can go there and become a
Hit him.
formidable football team.
There's
Okay,
nobody open.
all right, all right. So let's not go with James Madison. Okay, that's like going to
But
the high school team somewhere and play and coaching a high school team. Let's talk about some real football. Okay, real
Okay.
well,
football.
The
okay.
real
So
All right.
football is
Okay, he had a
where
top defense at Minnesota, and he had a top defense at Miami. He has 2 years in a row that he has had a top defense.
right?
And if you mean
And
to tell me, you know what I'm saying, you've seen all these coaches going from these two lanes, North Dakota, not North Dakota, North Texas, and taking these big SEC jobs, like, man, you crazy, man. I am
and,
taking one of these jobs, going to prove myself for a year or two, and then get an SEC job.
and
Cuban,
also
Cuban,
E
Cuban.
Brown, you have to progress. In other words, to me, going from James Madison. Okay, I'm not the one disrespecting James Madison University. That was Mr. E. Brown. Okay, I think James Madison is a fine, upstanding school. Oh,
Sure.
but here's the thing. I mean, look at it though. He went from James Madison up to a Minnesota, and then up to a Miami. You know, you gotta, you
come
know,
here.
you can't go from
You got to you're absolutely correct there. You could absolutely
and
correct there,
since
Mr.
and
Head Coach South Coast.
and
Head Coach South Coast Kane, you're absolutely correct.
in
You're
honor
absolutely correct.
in honor of the Bayou Classic, you can't go from a Southern university, okay, straight to an Alabama.
Let's say something about
Well,
Billy.
Am I am I
one second,
Okay,
Missy.
am I
One
clear? Am
second.
I clear?
you
Am I clear to say something now to
yes,
rebut
Go
what you
ahead.
just said?
please rebut,
I'm going to rebut what you just said. This
rebut
is
it,
you're talking about a young. You talk about a young coach.
right?
You're talking about a young coach who needs to go to a program where he's going to be successful. Because
Right.
if he goes to one of these programs, he's not successful. He's going to ruin his opportunity to go anywhere else as a head coach.
But
No,
how
somebody
do
else is going
you
to hire him
Okay.
as a defensive coordinator.
right,
That's what
right,
happens in
right.
college
But
football. You fail
how
at head coach, then you become a,
We're talking about, but South Coast. Cuban. We're talking about head coaching position now. We're
right.
not talking about
Wait,
Breaking
assistant
I
news,
coach.
heard
y'all.
enough
Breaking
about
news.
Manny
James
failed.
Madison.
Manny
Breaking
felt that he got
news,
another
y'all.
head
Breaking
coaching
news.
job of
What's the
T.
breaking
Brown.
news? What's the breaking news? What's the breaking news?
James
Um,
Madison, their old head coach, is the
my
guy
my
at Indiana
NFL
now.
sources say
Yes.
The guy at
my
Indiana is the old James Madison coach.
Yep.
my
So I'm
NFL
gonna
sources
break
say
everybody's.
Ruben Bain and Messador is considered the number one and number two DN, actually top 10 picks. And the NFL has said they want to see more of them. So they're going to put us in the playoffs. Mark that down.
Ooh, y'all heard it here first. You
No,
heard it
it's a
here
second.
first.
Second time. Alpaca said a long time ago we're making the playoffs. I don't know what you're talking
Oh,
about.
okay, you're right. I'm sorry.
Ready?
No,
Was
no,
It's
but I was waiting on my sources
Madison
to make it
head
official
coach?
because I
it,
was telling my source, like, man, I'm getting nervous. I'm getting nervous. I was asking my
don't,
source, I was like, I'm getting nervous.
don't be
And they were
nervous.
like, all
Don't,
right, we'll wait on our report. It's
so yeah,
in.
you heard it here again. I forgot. It's a bitch getting old. I forgot. You heard it here first. We proclaimed Miami a playoff team, what, 4 weeks ago? Is that when
Right
you were
after our
speaking?
losses.
No,
Yes.
last year when I told you he's building the blueprint, they kept
Okay.
us out purposely. We'll be there next year.
We were referring to Alpaca and his
Oh, when he
extraordinary,
jumped on board.
yeah, when he him and his
When the light
Spanish.
was darkest.
Yes, he said, "Hey, we're going to the playoffs." Of course, we
He
all
he
thought he
he made
said
a
that.
pithy statement just like I did, and I know Cuban Kane influenced South Coast to say that we were not going to make it. See, Cuban Kane was an influencer. That
No,
guy
No,
Cuban Kane can
no,
influence people. You know, he
no. I
he
don't.
he
no,
wanted to get rid of Mario 2 years ago. He wanted to get rid of Mario. Number
no.
one,
Hey,
okay.
no, I mean, you push him to the
You
ledge.
know,
I still want to get his ass up out of here. You know what I'm saying? I can't do that conservative bullshit.
But
You push me, I'll say, hey, I have the bait to push him to get him the fuck up out of here now. Don't get it
yeah,
twisted.
yeah. See,
But
that's the Cuban Kane that I'm used to right there. See,
No, but I'm not like you Mario fanboys that are not objective, right? And I don't know if when you came on, I said that he deserves a raise, not not a year's extension, but he deserves a money extension.
He
So I'm
did.
not like
I
you Mario fanboys now.
He
He did
deserves
say
that
that.
I
extension
did hear
more.
you say that. I did, but you influenced South Coast a lot. No, if you influenced South Coast, the way he joined your train, he got on your love train, and he wanted to kick Mario out as
Whoa.
well.
I
And
I
then
I
was
we
want,
started
I,
to
like I
I
said,
had
disband.
if
Okay.
you really want to go there, I could say give you reasons why Mars should be gone though.
There ain't
I
no trains in Miami.
I had
There's a
my
$150 million reason that I would fire Mario. No,
I
actually, there's
look
a 200. There's a 200 between a 200 and 250 million reason that I could, fire Mario right now.
look. I
What?
had my I was on my own choo choo train. Okay. And
South,
I don't
South
want to get
Coast.
into it, but the first thing that got Conjunction Junction going was when Mario said he knew that the defense stunk, but he didn't do anything about it. That was the first thing. Okay. And then, let's be again, I
He
know
lost to Middle Tennessee too.
we're going off into the negativity sea, but let's call it like we see it.
Well,
Mario has been proclaimed as this master recruiter, even though 40 to 45% of his recruits at Miami have
wait a minute. You
left.
disagree with that? You
Hey,
disagree with that?
just
Hang on.
okay.
And then, thank God for the NIL. That's helped Mario out a lot.
That's
Okay.
part of recruiting, though. South Coast. That's part
No,
of that's.
No, it's
no,
not.
no,
It's money.
no,
Oh my
no,
God.
no. You're changing, you're moving the goalposts. When you say recruiting, you're talking about going out and getting high school talent. Now,
We
if
can't develop any of them anyway.
exactly, if that's a whole different subject for a whole different time. Okay. So if you want to encompass recruiting as NIL and high school, then get off the star train. Okay. Don't when it comes to high school recruiting, don't start all this. Well,
Well,
Mario has
you know the one word that incorporates all of those entities. It's called evaluating talent. You got to evaluate NIL talent. You just can't go,
Well,
all right, I'll pay you money. You got to evaluation. You got to evaluate your high school guys. You got to evaluate your NIL guys. You got to evaluate your the transfer portal.
right.
You
Hey,
got to
you can
evaluate your
Ebron,
talent.
you can
you do know Ebron.
evaluate.
One second, South Coast Ebron. You do know we're two quarterbacks away from being a 5 or 6, 7 win program, right? If there was no portal, we would be so screwed because we would not have a quarterback in this program. Mario
Well, I
said
mean,
that there's a portal program where you could pay a quarterback millions of dollars. If we didn't have, I'll put it this way: if we could not have offered a quarterback $1+ million, we would be a 7 or something program right now. I hope you
Wait, wait, wait,
understand.
wait, wait, wait. Since he's an elite
excuse
recruiter,
me.
when was the last time we recruited a 4 to 5 star quarterback, or Jeremiah Smith, or kept any of the elite talent from Miami to Miami? When was the last time we did that? Because Malachi Tony, baby
Was it
Jesus, praise the Lord.
3 star? Yeah.
Y'all
Anyway,
want to hear? Y'all want to hear a last time
he was
stat?
a
Since
3 star.
since since you talking about the last time, ABC just flashed on the ticker our score 38-7, 4 straight 30-point wins,
Yep.
first time since 2001 national championship team. That's what they just
Oh,
flashed.
hey, you get that talk out of here,
They
dog. Because I will
usually
not have
they
this
usually don't flash
compared to
shit like that
2001,
about
dog.
Miami. They
No, 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 no,
usually they
no.
usually they
He
usually
win
don't flash
8
stuff
games
like
in
that
2001
about
on defense
Miami, buddy.
alone.
Get ready for the
Okay.
playoff.
Okay. All right. Now, E. Brown, you see what you've done? I'm blaming
No,
you, E. I'm blaming you. It
well, you
was
see,
all. See,
In
no, hold
2001, we win
on.
8 games on our
We we
defensive scoring
Hold on.
alone.
Hold
That
on.
team
we
is filled with Hall of Famous.
Okay. Okay.
we,
Okay.
we need a
Okay.
we need a debate platform. Me versus Ezekiel
First
Brown
time
and
since
Alpaca
that
versus
happened,
Two of the
buddy.
Brew.
That's all I'm
E. Brown.
saying.
E. Brown. E. Brown.
yes, sir.
I love you, man. I am so happy you're here. And I empathize and I sympathize with all the crap you have to take with Coach Hayes and those people. And I apologize that you have to take it here. But,
You on crack?
okay, I think you brought this upon yourself because we
No,
were
no, no,
all
no.
we were positive. We were having good conversation, and then you showed up and said Cuban was completely destroying our thinking. I'm joking.
You want to give me 5 minutes? Give me 5 minutes when you finish with your soliloquy.
Oh, I'm just messing with you, E
I think
Brown.
Cuban's playing us all for fools, to be honest. I think he's jumping on the Mario Cristobal train just to tell us
Let
he
me
was right all along from before this. You
see. You
wait.
know what?
Hold on one second.
Alpaca's been
Before
hanging
you go
around
on your
Cuban
five
Kane
minute
too long.
one second. Before you go on your 5 minute rant there, Mr. Ezekiel Brown, you're the same human that said we had a top 12 defense last year. I'll go on mute.
Ooh, you did
Okay,
say that, Mr. Brown.
okay. Can I respond?
Please, please,
Okay.
please.
Okay.
Can I? Okay, I'm going to respond.
Go ahead.
The only thing I did wrong, Nick Cuban, is that I misspoke a year early. A year early. Okay, I misspoke a year
That
early.
was funny.
Listen, I give you props for that. Yes, I misspoke a year early
Yeah.
because I saw the tea leaves. I read the tea leaves and I saw the talent, and I knew that we had the potential to be a good defensive
Revisionist
football team.
Now,
history.
now,
Okay.
okay.
Now,
I'm gonna go ahead. I'm sorry, E Brown. Go ahead. Go. I'm sorry. I'm
now,
sorry.
now, the other argument is that we were 2 years ago. We were in a we were going back and forth with each other, Cuban Kane and myself, and in South Coast and Heru and Alpaca. We were all going back and forth about whether or not Mario was entitled to have the that 10-year contract and whether or not he was putting the talent together that will build a formidable football team. Now, 2 years later, here we are, and here we are now. Where today, hey Ru, today this morning on the college football game day show, I heard Nick Saban say this. Nick Saban said, if the Miami Hurricanes get into the playoffs, I don't think there's any team that will want to face them. That's what he said this morning.
I think what he
Okay,
said was Miami would be the scariest team.
scariest team in
Don't
the playoffs.
don't
I
come
don't think
smoke.
y'all saw my recent
And
video
and
where
and and,
I
and
clipped at the beginning
you
of the
can't
year.
bypass the fact that
And
Mario
it's the team.
Cristobal was the architect for what Saban was saying. Mario Cristobal brought this team from 5 years ago where we were losing to Appalachian State and worried about whether we were going to beat
Middle Tennessee.
Toledo to where we are now.
That was Middle
You've been
Tennessee.
So
influenced by
you gotta
studio because we were
you
not
can't
almost
you
losing to
gotta agree to that.
Appalachian State. We beat the shit out of Appalachian State.
Architect. No,
That
You've
no,
been
no.
influenced
Mario
by
was the
studio.
architect when we lost to Middle Tennessee too. He
Yeah.
was the architect. He
We
pitched.
were worried about whether we going to lose to the Toledo Rockets, the Appalachian State Mountaineers,
Toledo Rockets.
the
And we,
the
and, we,
the
and
the
we were
the
worried about losing to Middle Tennessee Horsemen or whatever the hell they're called,
Tennessee
The
for not
Louisiana
scoring a
State
touchdown
hot
for
sauce.
5 games in a row. Like,
Southern Miss, Central
Okay,
Michigan.
the
or Georgia.
Louisiana State hot sauce. We were worried about
Luckily
whether
we
we were
don't
going to
have to
beat
play
Bethune
Georgia
Middle
Tech.
Cookman.
Tennessee
Luck,
bath salts.
And guess what,
luckily we don't have to
y'all?
play
Hey, guess
Georgia
what?
Tech or North
Hold on, hold on,
Carolina
hold
this
on.
year.
Hold on. Simple fact. Guess what? We got a player from Middle Tennessee on our team now
Yep.
who helped beat us. You
All
know
right.
who that is?
But Ebron don't want to talk about that.
Y'all know who that player is? We got a
He's a
player on that
defensive
same Middle
tackle.
Tennessee that beat us.
He was the defensive tackle that we brought on.
No,
He
No,
hasn't even seen the field.
number 8.
no.
Number 8.
Jacoby Thomas.
Yes.
He went to
No,
Tennessee after that.
Jacoby Thomas
So that's
came from
Mario
Tennessee.
scouting good. He said, damn, boy,
He
that
got
player
he
here
got it
is a
from
home.
Tennessee.
Toby Thomas is from Tennessee, not Middle
He
Tennessee.
went
No,
to
He
he
got
Middle
it
was
from
in Middle
Tennessee
Tennessee.
Tennessee, then
first.
transferred to Tennessee.
Then he
Then he
went to
went to Miami.
Tennessee.
Yeah, he went to Middle Tennessee. He went to Middle
And
Tennessee,
he
then
was
Tennessee,
on the
then Miami.
field and he made plays against us.
Yeah.
Go back and watch the game.
So I want to circle back for just a second.
I want to debate Ebron.
No, hang on. Let's E Brown needs to catch his breath. Okay, he hasn't been here in a
You know
while.
you're old son of a gun.
So hey Rue, Hey, Rue, back to what you were saying. What ABC flashed about the last, would you say, 5 games?
Last 4 games in a row, 30+ point victories. The last time Miami did that was the 2001 national championship team.
Okay,
I'm not
okay.
comparing them.
No, no, no,
This
no,
is
no,
the
no, no,
last
no,
time.
no, no, no. But I want to revisit that right quick. Not saying I'm not
That's so
debating you. I want to just to kind of give everybody context because everybody may not know. Oh, hell, some people may not have been alive when they played in 2001. But the last game of the year of 2001, Miami played Virginia Tech. That was a 2-point victory. Okay. Before that was Washington, Syracuse, Boston College, Temple, West Virginia. That was kind of like the last 5 games. That compared to uh Pittsburgh, Virginia Tech, North Carolina State, Syracuse, SMU, Stanford. Okay.
in
Uh
Louisville.
and the Louisville. So I mean, yeah, again, I know where they're coming from. I know where they're coming from. Okay. And but unfortunately, see, they say stuff like that, but yeah,
to get
as
the
far
people
as
going.
as far as a score, they're not lying. Okay. But when you say stuff like that, I mean, you can't
Listen,
you
listen,
can't
listen,
take
what- li- listen, listen,
you
Taco
can't
Gang.
take that you can't
You,
take
you,
that 0-1
no,
team,
no, 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 listen,
you
listen,
know.
Taco Gang. You don't understand me. Listen, listen. I got a conspiracy about ESPN and their ticker, and ABC and their ticker.
I'd like to
Where,
I'd like
where?
to
Hold on.
no, seriously,
When
seriously.
we normally win, they rarely show our score. I have to wait. They'll show everybody else score 2 and 3 times. I'm like, damn, where the Miami score? They won't show it. But if we
Hey, Rue.
lose, hold on. This been for years.
They lose,
If
it's
we lose,
everybody.
they will show that motherfucker I don't know how many times.
Yeah, this is
Okay,
what ESPN
hold
and
on. Wait a
ABC
minute. I ain't
do.
finished yet, bro. I'll let you get in.
Go
Hold
ahead.
on. Just couple of games ago, the narrative was, oh, they got to get style point. Oh, they got to get style point. Blah, 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 blah. And then they show Miami survives a scare.
Yeah, exactly. I saw that too.
But the narrative has flipped on its head. We get
Hey,
the
Rue.
calls, we getting the tickers, you know what I'm saying? We getting the saving comments. Everybody in the media is crying, no, man, y'all finna shit Miami. We ain't going for this. I ain't never had this much backing, even though they hate us. And I just got the word. Y'all get ready for the playoffs. Go ahead, Al Capone.
Miami ain't the only one they do this to. I hate to break it to people, but ESPN, ABC, all these things, they the kid in middle school that saw 2 kids about to fight and they're like, "Oh, you ain't gonna take that, are you?" That's exactly what they are. They just try to prop somebody up to get a fight between people. That's
Yeah,
what they
they,
do.
they just want to get the clicks and the views. But
Yep.
Hey, no, in all seriousness though, Hey Roo is I have to back Hey Roo on this because yeah, whenever Miami wins, you just it seems like you don't see it, but when you or it could just be that what's it called? Like, if
Okay,
you
we
drive
had an analogy for this when I was going door to door salesman. Okay, when you looking for a red car, you're gonna find a whole lot of red cars, dog. But when you aren't looking for that red car, it won't bother you at all.
that's exactly what I
Yep,
was gonna say.
yep.
I don't know what the clinical term for that is, but it's like that's what I was going to kind of bring up. Like if you're driving a Mustang, a Ford Mustang, that's all you start seeing. You have like this selective vision or some crap like that, where you may have been driving a Ford Pinto and didn't see a Mustang on the lot, but
Oh,
then
yeah,
all
there's
of
a
a sudden,
scientific term for that shit.
yeah. As soon as you
Yeah, I
start,
had
Now
that
I
when
need
I
to
got
look
my
it up.
Lincoln
yeah,
back. I got
and
my old Lincoln back, and I
but
started seeing a bunch of other Lincolns.
ooh, what year, Lincoln?
2006 Lincoln Town Car,
Hey,
signature. Yeah.
that's what I'm talking about.
But ghetto sled.
Can't go wrong with the Lincoln, bro. Especially if it's like a '78 Lincoln. Oh yes,
Oh
sir.
no, it's a 2006.
Shoot.
But it's
Anyway,
nice.
anyway. But yeah, I mean, hey, Rue, there is truth to what you say, and I agree with you.
It's called
Uh,
frequency illusion, Bader-Meinhof phenomenon, also
that
known as the
that's
frequency illusion,
Yep.
that's it. That's
cognitive bias.
but for those of us who have been around a while, you know, it's always like that with Miami. It doesn't matter.
It
You know,
feels like that with every Miami sport. I'm a Heat
yeah,
fan. I'm a
yeah.
Hurricane fan. I ain't a Dolphin fan. Screw them. I couldn't stand hearing about the 72 and Dolphins, dog. I'm sick of that. I hated that shit. But I'm everything else fan.
Yeah,
I have a
which
problem with the definition though, because it's saying it's cognitive bias when you become more aware of something. So
right.
to me, that means you're more aware of it. It's not
Well,
meaning that you're seeing shit that's not even true.
well,
Like you're paying attention to the shit that they're doing to us.
but as a Miami fan, you kind of, me
Gonna
You're
personally,
pay
hyper
more
aware.
attention to the going,
I,
yeah,
it's
just
like
like the fans who not our fans. Like, oh man, y'all crazy. They ain't giving y'all they ain't doing that to y'all. But last few games, even the people
right,
not our fans, like, bro, I ain't gonna even lie. I don't even like Miami, but y'all getting screwed.
right. It happens. But again, you know,
What Coast South Coast? How did that
yes, sir.
narrative get started? You know why that narrative got started? That
And that,
narrative got
You're gonna find
started
a way to blame me,
because
huh? You gonna blame me some way, huh? Go ahead. I want
no,
to hear this. How you gonna blame me?
no.
go ahead, E.
I'm
Brown.
gonna exclude you this time, Cuban. That narrative got started. That narrative got started because of how we performed in the last 25 years. We would start out the season playing like a competent football team, and then in the end, we would drop the ball, and therefore we played like it. So the narrative was developed, and that's why everybody pounced on us when they get an opportunity to. Now, for all of us old guys like Heru and of course Cuban Kane, Alpaca sound like he's a real
Of
young
course.
man because
Well, hold on. What do you
you
mean,
know
of course? If I'm of course, what are you? You're like dirt if you're gonna call me old.
Shoot,
you know
E.
if you
Brown,
go
maybe
back if you
E.
go back
Brown
to
may be the
if you
oldest
go back
one
if
here.
you go back to pre 2001,
They
you
play
would never
football.
hear anyone talking about the University of Miami in a negative light. The only thing they talk
Whoa,
negative about
whoa,
the University
whoa,
of
whoa,
Miami before they
whoa,
No, they used
whoa,
to
whoa.
call us
Man,
what
criminals
you
and
sound like
guns.
can I
And
no
now
no no
listen,
no
30 for
oh,
30
I'm the young
football.
one now.
can you
I'm
guys
the
let me
young one
finish?
now.
Let me finish my soliloquy.
Let him
Oh
finish.
god damn.
We
He,
we
go ahead.
we were
You're all-
pounced on because they thought that we were brash, we were braggarts, that we were running the score up. Those are the things that they jumped on us
Yeah,
for.
we wasn't criminals and thugs, were
Okay.
we? We wasn't criminals and
They
thugs.
were calling us criminals and
We got
thugs,
painted that
and
thing,
we were
yeah.
running the score up. That's what they
Yeah.
were beating us up for. Now they beat us up for looking good early and fading away in the end. That's the same old Miami.
But
Back then, you would never say that about the University of Miami football teams.
but
Correct? Am I
but
right or wrong? Am I
but
narrative am right or wrong?
okay.
I
In your,
like this because
I
they're
I
criminals
got
and
to, okay.
thugs.
I got to step in on this because E. Brown, I was up. Well, I was with you until you talked before 2000. Okay, so you're right in what you said. You are right. Now, let me expound on that. Why do you think people held Miami to a higher standard after 2001? It's because what I mean is to pounce on them when they fail. It's because of what happened back in the 80s and the 90s. You see what I'm getting at?
That's what I'm saying. That's the point I was trying to bring home.
Well, you didn't bring it home very well. You had a flat tire on the
See you an old geezer
okay.
like me. You an
See,
old geezer like me, and
you
you
didn't say
understand where
that.
I'm coming
He
You
from.
said he
didn't.
had a flat tire on the way.
Yeah.
You
I
had a
mean,
flat
what I'm
tire.
saying is because of the animosity that John Q. Public had for Miami, because they weren't the team that was supposed to win. Okay. Because they did what they did in the fashion that they did it, that
Right.
developed like generational. Well, Papal told me that Miami was da 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 da, so we hate them. So that's why you have this new and improved derivative of Miami hate. In other words, that coupled with the fact, and I talked about this a while back, how, like you said, Miami would jump out 4-0, 5-0, 6-0, 7-0. No, that sound familiar? 8-0, and then just crap the bed. Everybody starts. It feels like they waste their time building Miami up and making them sound good, and then they crap the bed. And we're the team that everybody loves to hate, plain and simple. Hey, L&V, Miss Katie, I'm sorry. I'm sitting here trying to keep Mr. E. Brown from getting a flat tire on a Pinto. Didn't see that y'all jumped in. I'm sorry.
Well, the reason why we everybody's jumping on us now is because since 2000, before 2001, no one could jump on us like that, except the time period when we were on probation, because everybody wanted to abolish our football team at one point.
Right.
They wanted to abolish the football team that we were so good that they wanted to abolish us with all this crap about
Now it's
recruiting and
legal.
stuff.
Now it's
Okay,
legal. NIL's
now
legal.
it's legal. Okay,
Yeah.
now it's legal.
Right.
So they wanted to abolish the football team. So they couldn't jump on us and call us losers and we fade in the end because that didn't happen with those football teams. It didn't happen. So since the Donna Shalala period, and moving on forward, we became passive, so to speak. We became passive. We became the team that everybody could pounce on now because they knew that the University of Miami was going to fade at some point. Mario's bringing that stability back. He's bringing that
Being
prominence
passive,
back.
I got
Okay.
a question. I let all you guys talk for a long time.
I know.
I got a question. All right.
Oh, here we go. Now we're gonna hear. Now we're gonna hear the pontification. But go ahead.
This is just a question. Is 10-2 every year an acceptable result?
I tell you what. You go ask one of those loser programs like James Madison and
No, sir.
ask them if 10 and 2
I
is
asked
good.
you a question
Okay.
James
directly, sir.
Madison is
I
not a
asked you
losing
directly.
program, bro.
I will
James
say yes.
Madison is
I will
not a
say
losing
yes,
program.
depending on who we lose to. Because I ain't losing to Middle Tennessee and saying 10-2 is good, dog. I ain't losing to them. But we lose to like a Notre Dame, we lose to a ranked like team. Yeah, okay. Yeah,
So,
sure.
so
It's
if
good.
Mar has a 10-year contract, every year he goes 10-2. Are we going to be okay with that?
Man,
No, I'm not. I'm not because I was used to the University of Miami going 11-0, 10-0, 12-0. That's what I'm used to.
Do you
Okay.
think he? Okay,
You,
let me ask you a question. Do you think he could go over 10-2? I think this is the best he could do. 10-2 is the best he could do.
I don't think so.
always
I
I don't
disagree
think
with you.
that.
always
I
have a
disagree with
midseason
you.
I don't
collapse.
think that because he
Mario
was a
and midseason
quarterback
collapse, they have a
bad
more
game
iconic
away
duo.
from being 11-1. He was a
He
few
does that
plays
every
away
year.
from being 11-1. No,
He does it every year.
no. It's just only back-to-back 10-win season, so it's only twice he had a chance to try it. So
No, I'm
we
talking
got to
about
stop.
he always loses. He
But
always loses a dumb game. He always does that. Everywhere he goes, he loses a dumb game.
Every
Well,
single
we're gonna see.
time.
Like I said, third year we're gonna see if we get better. He's
Fourth
gotten
year,
better these
fifth year,
last four
fifth year,
games for sure.
But
fifth year.
Cuban. Just last year, you were praising Dabo Sweeney for going 10-0 in successive years. Why can't you do it now with Mario going
Hey,
10
wait,
and
wait,
2
wait,
in
wait,
Because
wait.
successive
Hey,
times?
Dabble
listen,
won a national
listen.
championship. Mario has not won a national championship. That's two different worlds there, sir.
Well, let me ask you a
Well,
question.
bro,
Let me ask you a
Cuban.
question, Cuban. So let's say you do go 10-2 every year the next 6 years, right? We know 10-2, you're gonna be in the conversation for a playoff spot. You don't think one of them years he can make a run?
Ah man, 1 out of 10. I don't like those odds.
One out
That's
of
a
but
six,
bad.
though.
That's
It's
bad.
six more
That's bad.
years.
That's
If he get a
horrible odds in
natty
the
in these last
ACC.
6 years, that he did his job for real. If he get a natty, one natty in his next six
I'm
years
asking for playoffs. I
with
don't need
two back-to-back
Natty's
10-2
hard.
years, that's pretty good, bro.
How are we gonna get a natty when we can't sniff the playoffs?
No, I'm saying 10-2,
so
we are in the conversation for the playoff. It's a matter of if the committee want to vote you
Yeah,
in or not. I'll just be
but
honest.
why aren't we guaranteed a playoff spot then? because
but
we lose some stupid
When they
ass
stop when they
games.
stop rating the ACC like it's a group of five conference
but
and saying they can only get one in.
so let me step in for a second. Y'all take a breath. Everybody relax. Grab a glass of water, whatever. So Cuban, you said,
Grab a pop.
"Oh my gosh, get you a little hug, E Brown. Get you one of them red little hugs." Oh, so
Exactly,
Cuban,
Katie.
what's 10-2 and
So
30? Yeah, okay. So Cuban, you said if Mario goes at least 10 wins for the remainder of his contract, which is another 6 years, right?
Yep.
So just be happy with the 10-win season. Now, I'm not going to lie, 10-win seasons are good when you first get them. If you fail to win any type of championship, i.e., conference championship, and then start progressing into bigger and better things, then 10-win season is no better than a 7 or 8 win season if you're getting the same results. You see what I'm getting at? So, like, you
oh
know,
hell no. I
no,
would
no,
way
no,
rather go 10-2 than 7 or
no,
something.
no, 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 no. I'm talking about the end result. That's what I'm talking about. Because if Miami wins the ACC championship, nobody's going to care what their record was. If Miami wins a national championship, nobody's going to care what their record was. You see where I'm getting at? It's always the end result. And what I mean is, I would, especially in the ACC, okay, in the ACC. In other words, so like last year, 10 wins was cool. It could have been deceiving, could have been misconstrued and deceiving, considering player personnel. And then this year, you went 10-2. Now, maybe Miami makes it to the ACC championship. Maybe they make it to the playoffs. I'm not trying to discredit anything you said earlier, Hayru. I'm just saying until we see the name on the line, we're just gonna have to hope for the best. You
Yeah, but
know,
10-2 ain't
I-
gonna leave you out of the ACC championship every year, bro.
it might do it this year. Not
Well,
I
every
mean,
hey,
year.
there's two
Not
teams
every
in your
year.
That's what I'm
conference that
saying.
got
That's what I'm saying. So
Not
all I'm
every year.
saying is, in
It,
Cuban scenario, there's chances to be 10-2 and still make the ACC championship and
yeah,
win it, and still make the
right.
playoffs. So he
Now,
he made an incomplete scenario there.
no,
right.
I didn't. No, I didn't make. I just said just
He
keep it the way it is. Just 10-2 every year. Is that acceptable or not?
You have to
That's
understand, Hayru, you have to understand Cuban.
is a
He
trickster.
I'd
he
rather
asked
say
the
yes
question.
because on the simple
If
fact that 10-2 will always leave you in the conversation for the ACC championship and the playoffs. Some years you may get kicked
yeah,
out depending on who win or lose. Some years you'll get in. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah,
if you
yeah,
don't go 10-2, if you constantly dealing with 7 and something, 8 and something, 7 and something, you're never gonna feel good. So that's
right,
the end
right,
result.
right.
It
Now,
feels good right now. Stomping
yeah.
on pit.
No, it
If
doesn't feel good. We're hoping
Man, that
Pittsburgh
felt
finishes in the
good.
playoffs.
38-7. That's why we still talking now. It felt
it's
By the way,
good.
this is Mario. By the way, this is Mario's first complete game from beginning to end. This is the first game he's ever had at Miami that it was a complete game. That
No,
It's
debate.
getting better. It's getting
we
better.
we want Virginia Tech to beat Virginia, so hopefully we can go to ACC playoffs game because Mario shit the bed against two ACC opponents he should have wiped the floor with.
right, and that's all I'm
I
asking.
just
It's just
want
a
to jab
chance.
back. I don't think Mario lost those games. Go ahead. I'm listening. Go ahead, South Coast. I'm listening.
How he
I
did not
disagree with
lose
that
them
fact.
games? No, no. Hold on. How he didn't lose those games? Team
I
came there
think Beck
unfocused,
lost.
not
Beck lost
physical.
one of them. I
They
blame the
looked
coaches on the other.
lackadaisical. Who's no? That's his fault. You cannot. Everybody knew those games were critical, and those two games he came in lackadaisical. Oh, we didn't know what Louisville was doing for the first couple. Man, Louisville always does those like different plays and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? You
Mm,
knew SMU was going to,
We were still
had
running
a
it up the middle
bad
in all
freaking
of those
defense.
games.
Running the
We've
ball,
been
yeah, it's the same shit. If I'll put it like this, Mister Ezekiel Brown, If the fan base did not speak up, right, Mario would still be running the ball through the fucking middle, doing the same shit over and over and over. He would still have mirror ball calling the damn plays until somebody in the media called it out because we've been saying this shit for the longest time. Mario would have kept the same shit, running the same, running through the middle, and being stubborn. So no,
Mr.
those
Cuban
two
King,
losses were on Mario. I
Mr.
know
Cuban
you're a
King, there's
fanboy, but
one
let's
thing.
stop
There's
it.
one thing. There's one thing I like about you. You know, you always have that angel on your right shoulder. That's the angel, and then you got that other one on your left shoulder that will always keep you straight.
Yes.
You're the guy. You're the guy that would always keep me straight. Okay, you always keep me
I'm a
straight. But
Gemini.
I got to tell you something, Mr. Cuban King. You're absolutely incorrect. You're absolutely incorrect this time. Okay. I'm not gonna listen to you on my left shoulder.
Oh, dude,
I'm gonna
that's
listen
great.
to the right shoulder. I'm gonna listen to Hiru, and I'm gonna listen to instead of listening to you on my left shoulder this time. Okay. Now, the reason why the University of Miami lost those two games, the reason why they lost those two games is because we were number one, we were complacent. Number two,
That's
we
Mario's fault.
And that's
number
Mario.
number two,
Complacency.
number two, number two, we were just out skiing. We were out skiing from an offensive
That's Mario's fault
But
standpoint.
That's
too.
coaching, Mr.
Okay,
Ernest Ezekiel Brown.
can
where
I
were
can I finish my soliloquy?
please
Let me finish my soliloquy.
soliloquy, please.
It's that was against Louisville. Against Louisville, we went into that game. We went into that game listening to all of the compliments that we were being given that we should be the number one team in the country, and we became complacent. When we played against SMU, there was anxiety in the air for everybody because they wouldn't want to lose. We didn't want to lose that game. We were listening to all of the noise on the outside. Those are the reasons why that football team lost those games. It wasn't because of the head coach totally just becoming oblivious to it. Because if you listen to the man throughout the week, he kept telling everybody, stop listening to the noise. Keep yourself focused. Stay focused on the game. All throughout the week, every time the man is speaking, that's what he's saying. You
You talking
can't,
about
you can't, you can't block out the fact that a lot of these kids have access to the outside noise through the social media outlets and so on and so forth, and they're listening to that stuff. You just can't do that.
okay?
You gotta just call it like it is. We were complacent. We were lackadaisical. We were listening to all the noise, and you just lost all attention to what to detail, and you lost those football games.
Now,
Point blank.
Only
now,
we had a head coach
Mister
to correct all that. Only we had a head
Mister
coach to just, stop all that.
Mister Emmanuel Brown. That sounded really good. The only thing is,
No, it did not sound good. That sounded,
yes.
that sounded horrible.
Okay, let me finish. Let me finish. Jeez, all this stuff going on. I don't get paid enough for this. Anyway, no, I mean, what it
When you
sounded
take shots,
good.
you better not miss.
It sounded good, but
No, it did not.
my God, close the mouth, open the ears. The only thing is with Louisville, okay, there were no adjustments made. Okay.
It's all coaching. It's all coaching. Like everything. The
Yes,
complacency, all of it is all
yes,
coaching.
yes. Now you talk about the outside noise. I believe the term that was coined was
Rat
rat
poisoning.
poisoning.
Yep.
Now, where was all this rat poisoning for the first 5 games? I believe it was. Where was the
They were
rat?
scared as heck. South Coast. They were
But
they were afraid to lose those first 4 games. They
okay,
were simply afraid, and they wanted to
so
play.
We're afraid
so
to lose
if
the other games too.
One
with
second. There's a
Louisville,
poet. There's a poet named Studio Who the Guru that said, take away them damn social media accounts, take away all them damn phones. So if Mr. Studio said that shit, why can't a head coach do the same thing? Sorry, South Coast, I
No,
got
no, it's
interrupted.
okay. But the thing is, Mr. Brown, we talked about this earlier, or at least I did. Oh, with Louisville, no adjustments were made. Okay, Louisville comes out. This is what they're going to do. All right, how do we counteract that? Okay. SMU was just, we're here. We might as well play. No excitement, no enthusiasm. Oh, just blah. We're here. We're going to win because we're Miami. Yeah. That's what I took from it. Okay. And to counteract what you were saying, not that we're piling on you, but both instances are like two ends of the spectrum for coaching. And like with those two games, at what point should the head coach just call a timeout and put everybody on the field and say, what the frack is going on?
Unless you just struck on Oklahoma.
I see that. And they called me crazy for wanting to root for LSU over Oklahoma. But anyway, that's a personal.
Oklahoma trash. To me, hold on, before I real quick. I'm sorry. To me, this data point right here, LSU doing Oklahoma what they doing. Oklahoma holding Alabama to what they did with the Virginia fact that both of us beat FSU. This should drop Alabama out of it. So I would move Miami and Notre Dame past Oklahoma and Notre Dame. I'm sorry for interrupting.
That's okay. So, Mr. Brown, are you familiar with the movie Remember the Titans?
Yes, sir. I am familiar with it.
It's one of my favorites. Oh, do you remember that game where that if Titans have lost, they were going to kick Coach Boone out and move Coach Yost up and move him into the Hall of Fame, and the referees were calling all these bad calls and stuff like that.
Yes.
Remember that part?
Yes.
And once Yost got out there and told the referees, it's over with, whatever. You remember how he had on the sidelines? He talked to his defense. I don't want them to gain another yard. You blitz and blitz. If they go past that line of scrimmage, I'm going to pull every single one of you out. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
And what happened?
I got you.
Petey walked away. Don't worry about him. But that's I bring that up because that's what should have happened. He said, look, you give him another yard, I'm taking you out. You see what I'm getting at? It should have been the same thing with the other team. I know it sounds crazy, but you see where I'm getting at?
I got you.
That's what should have happened. But it never happened because, well, I don't know. That would be a
Mario don't have enough to do shit like that, is what you basically want to say. You know what? Because I want to support you. I want to support you on that because Urban Meyer said some shit on TV. Said, I don't know if y'all probably caught this when he was padding some stats for his players. And he was like, he knew a team he was going to beat. He told his offensive coordinator, I want you to throw every play. And then they was up like something 35-0. And he said he heard a run play. He was like, no, I told you I want y'all to throw every single down. I said, boy, that's nuts. Boy, that's what kind of coach we need. Mario, where you at?
Mario does do that. He runs up the middle.
No,
Every
I don't
single
know.
I want you to run up the middle.
Wait a minute. Y'all speculating that. We don't got evidence of who's really controlling this offense.
I got shit. I can tell you. Just look at the last couple of games. You could obviously see when Mario, they called his ass out for running that shit in the middle. Shit changed.
No, they calling the offense out for that. They ain't say Mario specifically. I don't know.
But yeah,
Cuban,
you're right.
Cuban, I got a question for you, Cuban. Do you really believe that Mario changed the play calling simply because of what the fans were saying out in
Hell yes. Yes. Look at the difference.
Shannon Dawson did.
Look at the difference. We thought damn
No,
pass the back
hold
this
on.
year.
Go back.
We had Tony. Tony was throwing balls and doing all this crazy
I don't
shit.
think it was
Hell
Mario
yeah.
though. I don't think it was Mario. Could go back and look at the interviews with Shannon Dawson and some of them
Thank you.
media, and they would challenge him on his
Thank
play
you.
calling. So he was like, you know what I'm saying? To the point, I think Dawson like, man, I gotta switch it up because they
Thank
keep
you.
they were arguing back and forth about
Dawson said,
Tony.
I'm gonna keep running, I'm gonna keep playing it the same way I've been calling it all along. That's what he said in that press conference. And then they pounced on him and they were asking him, why don't you go outside? Why don't you change things
Brown,
up?
Y'all must
Ebenezer
And
think
you
this
Brown,
is
finally did it.
Ebenezer Brown, I have a tough question to ask you. This don't it's going to take you some time to think about it, right? This is a real tough question. Who is Dawson's boss? Think about it. Just think about it. Take your time and just think about it. Who's his boss?
Well, I know who his boss is. I mean,
Who is,
there's no time to need to think. That's
take your time.
Mario.
Take your time. Think about it. Who is? Just think about it.
However, you gotta in order to be a great and good leader, you gotta delegate some responsibilities to the people.
They
You
ran it
just
up the
can't
middle. I
be
don't
an
like it.
autocratic person, just being autocratic everywhere and on everything. You gotta delegate. You gotta enhance your coordinator's ability to call plays offensively and defensively. You got to do
So
that.
you mean to tell me that Mario is not listening to what other people are saying about his damn program when he
I
was running
doubt
that
that
shit up
very
them there?
seriously. I
I
doubt it
think
very
look,
seriously.
I agree with what Katie said. I guess I could show a comment every now and then. I'm sorry, y'all. It's like Katie says, Mario only changed because he listened to the noise and it bruised his fragile ego. I I could see that happening, you know, but I don't know. Something happened because I
I
don't
mean,
remember it ever.
You know what? You know what? You know what I just figured out?
that's a great comment. That's a great comment the for I was going to say the peanut gallery. You know, we're all a part of the peanut gallery. That's a great comment, Katie. That's a great comment.
I
However,
figured out. Ebenezer Brown came up in here because he's getting paid by Mario to, do his propaganda. I figured
now
it out
this
here, Mr.
now
Ebenezer
this is the
Brown.
Cuban cane that I like right here. This is the Cuban cane I like right here.
I figured
This
it
is the
out.
guy.
I
This
figured
is
it
the
out,
guy I
Mr.
like right
Ebenezer.
here. See,
He come in here and just, spoil, just like, hey man, Mario didn't do anything wrong. I'm probably sure he's still gonna blame Manny for those two losses, right, Mr. Ebenezer Brown?
It was his.
no, I'm
There
not going to
there
bring.
there were
I,
many
I
players on the team.
I told you exactly why we lost those two games. I told you that. Had nothing to do with Manny. It had nothing to do with Manny. It had 10% of it was Mario's fault. But I saw Mario
Wow.
constantly. I saw Mario constantly telling his team to stop paying attention to what's going on the outside.
But
Concentrate on your job. Stop doing or making all the silly penalties. I constantly. I heard him say that over and over and over and over again. I've
all
Mr.
heard
right,
Brown,
you
okay,
all heard
okay,
it.
okay.
I heard you. I heard you on other shows saying, you're retired and your old profession, right? In your old profession, if people messed up, who would they blame? They blame you or the chief of your. I don't want to say what it was, but I know what it is. But are they going to blame the people under you, or they're going to blame the chief?
No, they're gonna if you create an environment where that stuff is able to succeed with it, if it is able to continue, they're gonna blame you. But you're gonna ultimately
So
hold the people who are performing and who are doing the things re- accountable. You're gonna hold them accountable and responsible for what they're
okay,
doing.
okay.
You got to do it.
Epinata Brown.
Pinata.
Oh, you
Yes,
have
sir.
children. You have children, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. When they were wee tots.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
And
Mm-hmm.
since I see Mr. Shad has stopped by, he can probably attest to this because he has that beautiful little girl. But when your children were young, you would tell them don't put your finger in that electrical outlet. That right there.
Right.
Don't put your
Right.
finger in there.
Right.
So even though you told the child not to put their finger in there, if you saw them going to put their finger in there, what would you do?
I would scold them. Yes.
You
But
would
you know what?
stop them. You would stop them. would you so if you saw your child going to put their finger in the outlet that you had previously warned them about numerous times, when you saw them going for that outlet, the first thing you would do, because I know you're a good man, Mr. Brown. I think you're a good man. I don't care what anybody else says.
Sometimes.
You would have jumped up and you would have grabbed that hand, smacked it down, got him out. You would not allow them to put it in that socket.
Well, you just submitted my points, South Coast. I said Mario
No,
was telling
but
his players not to do what they were doing.
exactly that's what I'm
But
saying.
did he
But you're
bench
missing
them?
it. But when that child goes into the act of putting the finger in the socket, i.e., the football team performing on the field,
Mm-hmm.
you see that they're about to mess up, you stop it.
Mm-hmm.
You keep them from going into danger. You keep them from harm. Okay? Then you either bust out the belt or scold them or whatever. But you do
Right.
not let them get electrocuted. You do not let them face harm. You stop it. You correct it.
Well, see,
Okay?
that's good. That is a good parental guideline to follow. That's
But
a good
it,
parental. But when you're dealing
yeah,
with a football team,
it's
if you're
this.
gonna
It's
hold, if you're
just
gonna have,
it's
if
an
you're gonna put belt
analogy.
to ass, if you're gonna put belt to ass on a football team, you must. When a player is constantly messing up and screwing up, you gotta take him out of the game.
You
You
got to
gotta
do
take him out
something.
and make him sit
You
on the
got to do
sideline.
something. But if it's the
Okay.
whole offensive scheme, if it's the whole defensive scheme, or you see what the opposing team what they're doing, because my God, man, you got like 30 friggin' analysts on this Miami team. I mean,
31, including
yeah,
Ezekiel Brown.
yes, they have an analyst for bathroom, how to properly pull the toilet paper down and maximize the wipage. I mean, they have an analyst for
I can use.
everything. So, you know, you have people analyzing things. And if you see these tendencies going on, then somebody should be getting on the phone or whatever saying, hey, here's what we're seeing. You might want to try this based on our analysis.
Hey, E. Brown, I could show you a point in the game where the coaches dropped the ball on this very topic.
Okay.
Do y'all remember? It pissed me off really bad too. Y'all remember that third down drop by Marion?
Mm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right before that, he was arguing at the ref. I mean, almost yapping in his face. I mean, like, I was surprised the ref ain't throw the flag on. I'm like, what the fuck is you arguing at no fucking ref? Go get your bitch ass back. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
what. I said,
Mm-hmm.
man, they need to pull him. I said, man, I'll see him. No, right then, I didn't say sit him. I said, man, somebody need to talk to him. The very next play, he dropped the pass. I said, man, if I see Marion the next play, I'm going to scream.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff like that, man, need to be managed
It,
a little bit. But I could give Mario credit for, like, for example, when JoJo, Marquise Williams, they got in that little trouble. Everybody was mad. Why they ain't playing JoJo? And he had to
No,
get
no,
some
no, no,
belt
no.
ass put to him. They had to
No,
get some belt ass put to him. That's why Marquise Williams had to leave the team.
and this is where another, your team takes on the personality of their head coach. This team plays entirely too conservative. We should have blown out Notre Dame. Should have blown out Florida. Should have blown out Florida State. Should have blown out Virginia Tech. Should have blown out S. But we don't because Mario loves that conservative bullshit. He loves taking timeouts home every single, 3 timeouts or
well,
whatever. Every time he loves doing that shit, and it's like you take on the personality of your coach. But I know
well, it
Mr.
all,
Ezekiel Brown is, taking the personality of Mario and defending him. That's why he's on here. You know what I'm saying? So, man, you gotta blame those two losses on him because if I'll put it this way, Mr. Ernest Brown, if Mario would have been aggressive like he was today, he would have beat the shit out of SMU and Louisville. But no, he wants to be conservative. Then the fans called out that bullshit and he changed.
and not only that, Mr. Esquire Brown,
I think
Okay,
I
the
you
think what
know,
question
I
is
think what
now.
I
and
think what
also Notre Dame.
Go ahead, Brown. I didn't mean to interrupt y'all,
I
little
think
select.
what brought up I think what brought on the change was the the urgency that we needed to win those games without fail. That was what brought what you saw today. Well, that's what you saw in the last 4 games. What you saw in the last 4 games is that we needed to win without fail.
We need to win
Okay.
every game without fail.
Mr.
Well,
Ebenezer,
that's
who did
true. That's true.
Ebenezer,
That's true. That's
Ebenezer,
true.
who did that narrative and directive came from, Mr. Ebenezer?
What do you mean? The director to win every game?
Yes, who did it come from, Ebenezer?
The last the last 4 games, it came from the committee who's overseeing the playoff committee. The playoff committee set the
Oh
tone.
shit. Fuck that. Then give $8 million to the committee and fire Mario.
No, no, see, no, you can't do that. Because the thing is the first five games of the year. The first 5 games of the year when we were 5-0 and we were considered the number one team in the country. We're the best team that anybody's ever seen thus far. The first 5 games of the year, we came into the season with a lot of trepidation, with a lot of Miami's not successful. They're not going to do this. They can't beat Notre Dame. They can't beat Florida. They can't do this. They can't beat USF. We came into the season with that hovering over our heads. That's when we started to play. The minute we started hearing all that noise about we're number one, we're the best team, is when we started to go into this complacency, this we're the University of Miami, we're showing up on the field. That's when we started to lose freaking games. Okay?
I,
That's when we
Ezekiel,
started to
but
lose games.
I don't know.
who's responsible for that, Ezekiel? Who's responsible for that?
I said 10% of it goes on Mario.
No, look,
Come
Then
on.
no, no.
you got third
Ernesto,
you got
Ernesto,
you got
Ernesto.
you got 40% goes on the offensive and defensive coordinators, and then the rest of it goes on the players. You
But
you
er,
you
er,
you're the players. You got to go out there and perform. I,
but
I don't. South Coast doesn't have to tell Cuban to come on after every game this year and just become a total. Uh, just come on and just call total chaos. You have that
but
in you.
but Ernesto, here's my whole thing. My whole thing is okay. These are all, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21-year-old men, okay, young men. You know, they're going to make mistakes. It happens.
That's
Even
true. That's true,
they,
Cuban. But they're the same. They're the same 18
oh,
and 19
hold,
year olds
hold on,
who's
hold on, Emilio. I'm not gonna get okay. So here's my thing. If that's part of being the coach. You have to, first, you got to set these young men up for success, and then you have to guide them, and you have to be the captain of the ship. And that, okay, you see how they're performing in the game, then if you see something happening, you need to guide them. So let me ask you this, Ebenezer: if you had a pitch, you were a baseball coach, and you had a pitcher. Say you're JD Arteaga, and you can't develop a pitching staff. What do you, Edison Brown, do if your starting pitcher is starting to throw balls and he's starting to walk people around the bases? What do you do?
you gotta take him out of the game.
Thank you. You got to make a change. You got to make an adjustment. You got to do something, right?
Yes.
Even though you took away all of his Facebook and TikToks and told him don't go watch anything on ESPN, don't go watching these videos on YouTube, stay away from Elias Brown and what he says, you see what I'm getting at? In other words,
But you gotta do like you said with if you had a child who goes to put his finger in the socket that you told him not
right,
to do it. You
right,
gotta
but you,
do it. You gotta do it with grace and love. You
right,
gotta do it with grace and love when you do it with the kids. And when
you
you're
know,
dealing with when you're dealing with young men who are
Hold
playing a
on.
game,
Hold on.
a
Is this a
violent game.
is this the same Ebron that always calls people out for being soft and sensitive? Now you
No, I'm
want to
talking
do
about from a
Mr.
I'm
Love
talking
and Care.
from
What is this, Ebron? Is this football or girls soccer? Who took over your
Not
phone?
grace
What
and love
happened
and
to you,
oh,
football.
Ebron?
no, I'm talking about from a parental standpoint. When you talk about your child, when you talk about your child, you talk about love and stuff. You know that's why I said that. Okay, I didn't go beta on you, but by the football team. Now, when you're dealing with a football team, when you have guys who are playing a violent game where you have emotions going, you got to be careful on how you handle that. You got to be careful on it with it. You just can't go and
But
just do the most drastic thing in the
but
beginning.
but look, Enzo Brown, the thing is, if you see the team is not going the way that they need to go, as the head coach, you are basically, you know, in charge, are bound to kind of right the ship. You
Excellent
know,
point. Excellent point.
thank you,
But
Enzo.
you got to remember, in each one of those games that University of Miami lost, we lost those games by three, 3 points or less or what have you. We didn't lose those games by 15, 20 points. We lost
Well,
those games by 3 points, maybe 5 points or so. And that's because they were following the blueprint. They were
but
following the blueprint, except
but
for a couple of points in the games. Each one of those games, they failed to do what you instructed them to do.
but but
The
Mr.
players,
but Mr.
they
Everett Brown,
failed to do what you instructed to do. Having committing silly fouls,
but
not being in the right position. Our
but
linebacker, somebody mentioned our
El-
linebacker play earlier tonight. Our linebacker play
Elvis
was
Brown, I have a question.
horrendous.
Elvis, I got a question. Did Louisville out coach us, or they out talent us?
No, they did not talent us. They out coached us.
Oh wow!
They out coached us. They out coached us from the
Long-term
standpoint
principles.
of our coordinators. Our coordinator was listen. Our offensive coordinator was dead set on just continuing to do things the way he wanted to do from an offensive standpoint. Our defensive coordinator, the guy who you guys want to make a head coach, our defensive coordinator was not schematic enough or forward thinking enough to realize that, hey, I'm going against a guy who has the ability to put together a great offensive scheme.
Wait,
I've
wait,
got
wait,
to
wait, wait,
now,
wait. Earl Brown. Our defense is the only reason we were in any of these games. Our defensive coordinator put it. Earl, the defensive coordinator kept us in these games.
I agree with you, Alpaca, but he failed us in the Louisville game. He failed us in the Louisville
well,
game.
okay, Eisenhower Brown. Look, here's my thing. I go back to remember the Titans.
You up
How,
for it?
how he fell in the Louisville game with a
Eisenhower,
back door four picks, man.
Eisenhower,
No,
that's old.
But
nah,
but
he
any,
fell.
anyway, Eisenhower, I go back to remember the Titans. You remember that playoff game? And that was, I think it was Ed Henry's team, and they thought they looked like the New York Jets, and they were getting their asses handed to them in the finals of the Virginia Football High School League. Anyway, you know, Yost was talking about you got to show them something they ain't seen before. To where, the coaches were trying to help each other out. And that's what should have happened with Heatherman and Mario or whatever. In other words, they should have said, hey, you need to give them something they ain't seen before as far as defenses go. But the fact of the matter is, Mr. Eisenhower, is that the buck stops with Mario.
Now going back to your remember the Titans. Remember the Titans. The one thing the head coach would remember the Titans did. He identified the leaders on the football team, the players.
Right.
He identified the leaders on that football team that helped steer that team in the right direction. Correct? Am I right or wrong?
You're right.
Am I right or wrong? Without those leaders, without those two guys who he identified as those indigenous leaders on the football team, okay, he identified those guys and he propped them up in a position to become the voice that was needed in order to keep those guys straight. You couldn't do it with a head coach. You can't do it with the offensive coordinator. You're gonna have to have some input from your leaders within that player regime.
I understand that,
Okay?
Eliza Brown, but my thing is, it all starts and ends with the head coach. Yes, you may
If Mario failed to identify the true leaders on his football team, and I don't think he did that, because He had the quarterback. He had the quarterback who he identified as a leader. He had the
That
running back.
quarterback threw 4 picks in the SMU game.
He exactly. He had the running back. What's his name? The young man. The
Fletcher.
big the
Fletcher.
You talking
Fletcher.
about
He had Fletcher who was identified as a leader. On the defensive side of the field, he had Ruben Bain and he had Messidor identified as
who
leaders of the football team.
who had the green dots on their helmet? Aren't those the leaders? Like
I don't
the
know. I know they had the don't they have the C on their shoulder pad or whatever
I haven't even
as the
I
captains?
No, they got the green dot in their head,
yeah
in their helmet. It's green
yeah
dot.
Those are the guys who you expect that when the players are jumping offside and when they're having penalties, successive penalties offensively. Those are the guys who you expect to get in there and tell them, "Hey, listen, take your head out of your ass and let's try to win this game."
true
Okay?
true.
Now, you can't have the head coach doing that because you have the head coach do that, those guys are going to shut down.
But
They'll shut down.
so they pull a
So
Petey.
you
So they pull a
so you
Petey.
you yeah, so you've got to do that. So you can't just totally blame it on the head coach when you
But
have the head coach is already he has offensive coordinators, he has
if
defensive line coaches, he has captains on the football team. Those are all pivotal players
right
in
right
getting your
right
team
right but
concentrated on what they need to do in order to win a football game.
right. But here's the thing, Easton Brown. If you're the head coach, I mean, you're
I
watching the
like
game.
Eisenhower better. I like Eisenhower.
Okay. You're watching the game. You're seeing how things are. If you have a structured uh hierarchy, okay, yeah, the head coach, yeah, they probably will get into a player's ass, you know, but there comes a time where the head coach has got to push, pull, or do something. You can't just sit there and watch the ship sink. Unlike the captain of the Titanic,
But
you
wait,
got to.
we've already seen Mario watch the ship
I
sink
know, I know, but I'm just
because
saying.
he did it while he knew there was no defense during the Cam Ward years.
Exactly.
So
But
he has a proven track record of just watching the ship sink down.
yeah, exactly.
I,
It's
Alpaca, I agree with you a little bit, but I disagree with you a whole lot. And the reason I say that is because the following year, when that year ended, that assistant coach or that defensive coordinator was gone.
Yeah, but what does that do for us during the time that was the ship sinking? Oh, you just get a new ship and you're good again? Yeah, cool. I can get us a new ship.
Well, yeah, you could admonish the head coach, the coordinator. I don't know if he did that in private. I don't know if he did that in the locker
Are
room.
you telling me
I
there's
mean,
only one person that knows defensive scheme all of last year? Like only one person that's a defensive coordinator, that no other defensive coach knows any defensive scheme or can put a defensive scheme in place?
well, you could answer your question simply by saying this: how many of those assistants from the defense was kept on the football team from last year? That
I have
answer
no
your
idea.
question.
I
I
don't know that. But
think
in the
The only
moment,
the only the only
yeah,
re, the only remaining person was the Hall of Famer. The only remaining person on the defense was the Hall of Famer. Everybody else was let go. That should tell you. That should answer that question that you just posed to me. There was no coordination. There was no
then why didn't we
looking
see
at.
them fail? Why didn't we get a chance to see them fail? We already saw the one guy fail, but we didn't get a chance to see any of that.
I mean, if you look at our defensive backfield from last year, it was horrible. Our defensive backfield coach is no longer there.
Yeah, that's fine. We only
If you
had
look,
one really good defensive back. That was OJ Frederick. But
it, it,
if Mario actually tried new things, I'd be giving him credit for that. But he didn't. He just watched the ship sink. He could have gone to any of the defensive assistants, got rid of Gidry or neutered him or whatever he had to do, send him on his way, and he could have tried something different. But Mario never tries anything different. He just watches the ship sink.
I don't know. I'm
So,
going to ask. I'll ask head coach South Coast Kane. If you were the head coach of the University of Miami last year at South Coast, and you noticed that your defense was horrible in the middle of the season, you're telling me you're going to get rid of all your defensive assistants and head coaches and coordinators. You're going to get rid of all of them and then replace them, bring somebody in from the outside, and then start all over again in the middle of the season. Are you going to do that?
That's not what I
well,
said.
well, Eduardo, here's what I would do. I would have at least had a conversation after the Virginia Tech game last year. I would have had a sit down, just, hey, is everything okay? We saw that this had happened. What do you have plans? What is your plan going forward? Okay. And then after was it Cal after Virginia Tech last year? After that debacle, then you kind of put a little more heat on. I mean, it's like, dude, what are you doing, bro? It gets to the point where, look, if you can't get this done, we'll get somebody who can, because obviously, I mean, well, first off, let me back up. I would have asked them, okay, look, what do you need? Is there something you need? Is there, what do you need to make this defense better? Are you missing something? What do you need? Okay. What can you do to help him as the head coach? All right.
I think those
And
conversations were had because last year you remember if you guys can recall, Mario did criticize the defensive play of the defense last year. He did criticize that after the California game, and then when we went to Syracuse and we went up 21 points on Syracuse, and then Syracuse came back after and won the football game. That essentially cemented the fact that he was going to get rid of that guy. I think that this our offensive coordinator, I think he saved his butt a little bit the last 4 games, because I think that after that SMU game, he was going to be terminated at the end of the season. There's no doubt
uh,
in my mind.
I don't
Okay,
know, I don't know, Mr. Elwin Brown. I mean,
Emmett Brown, come on now, Mr. Emmett Brown. It seems like you don't.
uh,
It seems like you don't want to give, and it's like just let
I
this
don't.
man skate for whatever he does, man. Like, come on, man. Like, stop it. You know what I'm saying? Like he said last, I mean, who am I? Okay, I'm asking, who am I going to listen to? You, Mr. Emmett Brown, or Mr. Or Mario? When he said I didn't talk to the defense the whole time last year, who am I going to believe? You or him? He said out of his mouth that he didn't talk to the damn defensive coordinator last year.
and
Right.
listen, I
But
listen if I were a up and coming defensive coordinator, and I heard all last year that Mario was screaming and yelling at the defensive coordinator, I would not want to come here. So
Except
why
having
would
been
you
there.
put that narrative out there to ward off any potential defensive coordinators who would want to come here and build your defense? If you had that type of
but
talk out there, why would you do that? That's ludicrous.
but Elmira Brown, you have to hold them accountable, dude. You can't just let these cats come in here and just do whatever they want and not be held accountable. You
Well,
know,
that's true, South Coast.
you
But
you,
you
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 know,
you 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 scold in private. You don't do it. You don't do it in public.
well, no,
You scold in private.
I'm not saying they have a public hearing. I'm just saying that's why I was saying, Elmo Brown, that you have to have it behind the door. Let's talk about it. Just head coach to assistant, just have the conversation, not trying to rain hellfire and brimstone, but just have the conversation.
Well,
And
see, I just got to give the man credit because the man actually brought the team back from the days of Manny Diaz with the losing, and he brought the team into prominence with the recruiting, with the hiring and firing of coordinators, with dealing with some of the
He
behavior we
lost
saw
to Middle
from
Tennessee State.
some of the
He
behavior
lost.
we saw from some of the players early on in his tenure. We saw him. We had to watch that. We had to watch what was the wide receiver last year in Syracuse who committed the dumb play that caused the thing to go down. What was his name at the
Kobe George.
Jacoby.
Jacoby George? We had to deal with Jacoby Georges and stuff like that because you know why? The cupboard was bare.
But hold on, who allowed him on the team?
You had
You
you
remember,
had no other
remember the infamous thing that stupid ass Caneville started? Parents come pick your kid up. Why
Oh,
didn't you do that shit with Why didn't you do that shit with Jacoby Brown? He was doing a lot of stupid shit last year. Why didn't you tell Jacoby Brown, hey, tell your mom to come pick you up?
that was. And listen, the parent environment was created
Oh, here we
by
go.
what
Here we go.
what was the guy? I just called his name.
Manny Diaz.
Manny Diaz. Manny Diaz created the parent environment where you have mamas calling him up. Why is my son not playing football? Are you freaking kidding me, man? Are you kidding me? He had to get rid of that environment. He got rid of that environment where you know
Ebron,
we
it's still here today. I mean, if you really think about it, didn't you? Why isn't JoJo playing? Why isn't Ray playing? Why is this guy not playing? You don't think it's
have
still
you seen
happening to that?
JoJo Trader play lately? Have you seen him play?
When everybody was screaming for him, he played. Didn't you see that?
JoJo
The
Trader
reason he's not playing because
JoJo Traders his play was horrendous. Come on.
yes, but
His play was
everybody was screaming for
horrendous.
JoJo. Everybody was screaming for JoJo. Where's JoJo at? Where is JoJo at? He needs to play. And boom, it happened. And
His
then
play
he,
was horrendous. The
yeah, but
guy,
the same thing's happening, Ebron. Is parents always call that sports. I mean, you should know how sports are. Parents are always going to bitch and complain. That happens in every team.
and the running back number 2, what's his name? The guy you said couldn't hit the
Nah,
holes fast enough.
yeah.
His
Shad
play
said he
was
was going to be. Shad said he
his
was going to
play
be the
was
Heisman Trophy runner.
horrendous. His play
Yeah,
was horrendous.
and everybody was
Horrible.
screaming for him too.
By the way,
So he's
Katie,
not
Mario
playing.
was a
Now
recruiter for Nick Saban.
what was that, Alpaca? I'm sorry.
Mario was a recruiter for Nick Saban.
Well, he was offensive line coach too, you know. But
Hey, he must have recruited.
yeah. I mean, hey, listen, I just wanted to just to say that I don't think we're going to get into the playoffs, gentlemen. I'm sorry. I know Hayru said that he what the
Hey, we
ticker
agree
tape
on
said.
something. Everett Brown, we finally agree on something.
Nah. We making the playoffs. You see, this is why I don't understand you, Mario fanboys. We're making a mother effing playoffs. I don't know what you're talking about. We're
I
well,
just
gonna
don't
find a
think
way in.
we're going to make the playoffs. I don't think we're going to do it unless this Ohio or Oklahoma, if this whole Oklahoma thing continues, we may have a chance. But if they win, they turn out winning the game. I don't think Miami will get into the playoffs. We'll be on the outside looking in, and I will not be a happy Hurricane fan if we go to a bowl game. I do not want to see a depleted University of Miami football team going to play in a bowl game. I don't want
Would
to
you
see
Everett,
sit it out? Would you?
Everett Brown, we have to go
One,
to a bowl game. Like that's gonna
one,
happen.
1 second. Would you sit out the bowl game, Ebro?
that. I will sit the bowl game out.
That's beta, man. That's real
Absolutely.
beta of you. You talking about beta? That's very beta of you.
That was
Come
uh,
bad.
on, E Brown. You can't do that.
uh,
What happened to you, man? What happened to you?
oh,
See,
well,
that's the Cuban
That's
Kane I like right there. See,
no.
that's the guy who's over in your left ear telling you, "Go ahead, you go ahead and get that.
You
Don't
don't like competing, E Brown?
forget about being a married man. You go
Ebron,
ahead and get
you
that. You go ahead
you
and do
want to
that,
see your
man.
team go win 11 games and Emory Williams look like our future? Go out there and outdo some other team that claimed they were supposed to be in the playoff?
I don't think we're gonna have. I don't think we're gonna be at our full complement of players if
Good,
we go to a
good.
bowl
Wouldn't
game.
that be even great that those young guys, the ones we say we had depth, go out there and do it?
Well, we've done that for the last 3 or 4 years, and we
No,
always
we've
end
been
up looking
losing.
like
We've been
crap.
losing. Good. This will prove and confirm Mario has uh,
Developing skills.
elevated the program.
Yeah.
I think one thing we did when we went to the bowl game last year, The bowl game last year destroyed that young quarterback who's sitting on the sideline there. What's his name? The kid who broke his arm against Florida State. That
Emory.
bowl game destroyed that guy's opportunity to play this year.
Yeah,
That's
because
all
he's
that stuff does. It destroyed his opportunity to play
All right.
Why?
because he played awful in that bowl game, and we all looked at that bowl game and looked at him and go, "Holy crap, we need to get a quarterback."
yeah, we were right.
Yeah. All
I
right.
mean, you don't know if you were right because the kid didn't play.
Hang
He
on,
didn't get a chance to play.
Elmira Brown. Hang on. Oh, all right. So this has been wonderful. I mean, we're going on 3 hours here. It's been a very long day for me. So we're going to go around the table, let everybody give their final thoughts, because this has been very, very good, especially with Mr. Brown showing up. But I'm gonna start with Alpaca. Just give me your final thoughts, what you think, how you feel, whatever.
The ACC is retarded. We play non-conference games that are conference, but they're not conference because they're conference games. We don't tell Notre Dame to nut up. Our refs are retarded. That's all I have to say.
Great point. Great point.
All right,
Points.
Andrew.
Yeah. Like I said, the report was issued to me. Y'all get ready for the postseason.
All right.
Now, I don't know if it's going to be ACC championship game or not. Probably not. But we will get an at-large bid, and we're going to be fully healthy, right?
That's amazing.
Everybody will be back, and they're going to be scared.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I
All
like
right.
that, Hayru.
Hang on.
Nice catch, LSU. And the first thing is LSU about to knock Oklahoma off.
I hope so. All right, Cuban, what you got for us? Cuban, you with us?
Sorry, I was talking. I was on mute. Sorry.
That's okay.
Uh,
That's okay. Final
yeah.
thoughts.
Miami needs to go independent, like Michigan and USC are about to do. Being in this conference is stupid as hell. Give Mario a money extension, not a year extension. So he has 10 years. There's no reason to extend him more. Give him more money. It is what it is. This was a whatever season. You know. Now it's going to be a horrible offseason because you're going to have Emmett Brown out here saying that we're national champs and all this stuff. And it's like, man, I hope Mario just learned this year, like, stop being conservative. That's the only one thing I hope he took out of the season. Being conservative beat your ass this year. Being conservative is the reason why we might not make the playoffs, but Alpaca said we're making it, and Studio said we're making it. And lastly, Studio, stop going ghost, man. You know what I'm saying? When shit goes bad, don't go ghost. Stand by your man. Even South Coast played the damn song. Stand by your man. And I stood by Mario when y'all, ran out on him. And it's funny. I was the only person that says, hey man, relax, stand by your fucking man. And you had E Brown crying on Hayes show. You had all the Mario fanboys crying. And I was the only person defending that man. Y'all got to stand by your man and support him. I don't like him. I'm not gonna sugarcoat that. But I give credit where credit is due because I am a honorable and I am a, you know, I'm 99.9% correct and I'm extremely objective. I'm not a fanboy like the rest of you guys.
Oh my
So with that,
gosh.
E Brown, whenever you want to debate me, I'm here, Mister E Brown. You need to listen to me a little bit more. Then your whole life will be better if you had listen to Cuban a little bit more. If it sounds like you listen to a guy like Shad too often, right? And when you start listening to people and creatures like Shad, your life gets all messed up. But we're making a playoff. Stop all that negative talk.
I hear you.
All right, Eloise Brown, what you got for us?
All right, this is what I'm going to say, gentlemen. I'm going to say this. I'm going to say I don't think we're going to make the playoffs. I'm going to say that number one. Number two, I'm going to counter what I just said by saying this. If we make the playoffs, we will win the national championship. If we
Oh,
see now, the
Whoa.
young lady who and I think that's the better half of the South Coast Kane group.
That
If
is
the
the
better half of the South Coast
CEO.
Kane group, if she wants to speak, I'm going to shut up and listen to the better half of the South Coast Kane group. See what
This
she's got to say.
this is the CEO. She just walked in from shopping.
I want to hear the CEO. I want to hear from the CEO.
Well, I'm just gonna say hi because I was burning up uh, Jordan's credit card today, so I didn't get to watch the game. But I'm glad they won. That means he'll be
All right.
happy. He'll be happy for the next few days.
Oh, one
All
more thing
right.
I
All
left
right.
out.
Well,
Well, I'm sorry. One more thing I left out. South Coast does not know anything about music.
Ah,
and we're glad your LSU is about to win.
well,
Go Tigers.
go Tigers, but we're not gonna count any chickens before they hatch.
I'm
all
watching the
right.
game
All
right
right.
now. Y'all dominating them.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, I'm going to follow up by saying this. I don't want to hear South Coast Kane orchestrate another program because he is awful at it. So I want to hear the CEO do it from this point forward because South Coast Kane is easily influenced by Cuban. Cuban
Oh
Kane
no!
easily
Only because you
influences
get
this
mad because
man.
we beat you down. It's not his fault. You just have horrible debating skills, just like Studio and
Now,
Chad.
now, Eisenhower Brown. Are you allowed this much audience on any other show that you participate on?
Absolutely
Are,
not,
are
sir.
you allowed to come on and speak with everybody and pontificate, vacillate, and you know,
Bloviate.
bloviate as much as you've done tonight? Do you get that opportunity anywhere else for the money you're spending on this show?
No, my bloviation skills are not displayed on either other show other than this one.
That's right.
And
I mean, because other places will cut you off in a heartbeat.
but
No,
I don't have contemporaries on the other show that will just bring it all out of me like Cuban Kane. And that's essentially why I come over here and pontificate a little bit
okay.
because
Well, then
he is just
you can't come over here and call the shots.
yeah.
You want to tell
I
Miss
got you.
MD hello?
Hi, Miss Ellenby.
We're not ignoring y'all. It's just we're having to deal with Eliza Brown here. So, but anyway,
And this is my first time having my own headphones, so I can actually hear what's going on.
Oh, okay. All right.
and we're working on topics for our new show. You want to tell them about the new show?
Well, I
Yeah,
can.
it's called the CEO and the other guy.
Uh, so, so the name of our new show is Let Me Tell You One Thing. Because I know as angelic as I look, I have a bit of a temper. And that's usually when I get angry, the first thing that comes out of my mouth is let me tell you one thing. So that's going to be the name of our new show. Let me tell
All right.
let me tell you one thing.
And you'll have both of us on camera. So and I can't. There's a lot of topics available. We just got to sit down and write them out. But oh,
Oh, Katie got muted.
you got muted.
Hi, Katie.
Oh, she's talking about her exploits outside of this show.
Oh, we would never mute you, Katie.
But anyway,
What are we doing, LSU?
What are
anyway,
they doing, Cuban?
Ran a stupid play.
I literally just walked in the door and I was riding with other ladies, so I wasn't able to really listen to the game in the car.
but all right. Well, I guess my final words are: I'm glad we won. Uh, I really hope that Miami can make it to the ACC championship game somehow. I really hope they can make it to the playoffs. Alpaca called it like a month ago. I think he's having T-shirts printed up. Hey Rue, I hope your sources are right. I really hope this team can get into the playoffs. Uh, I was real happy with the win today. The team looked really good. Um, Other than that, I guess we'll just go sit back and watch the games and see what happens. So I guess until next time, peace, love, and soul. Let's go,
Peace.
Canes.
Let's go,
Thank
Canes.
y'all for so much for stopping by. Alpaca, Heyru, Mr. Brown, Cuban, and of course everybody in the chat from Kane and Baton Rouge and Shad and Katie and Ellen and I sound like the romper room lady and Phil and so forth. If I forgot somebody, I'm sorry. It's a bitch getting old.
Okay.
But until next time, thank y'all so much,
Oh, they
guys.
call that incomplete.
Y'all stay safe. Go Dolphins, beat the Saints.